convicted his godson and a friend of killing Run DMC's Jam Master Jay, his cousin Carlos Thompson.
WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
With SRN News, I'm Tasha Stevens. Both President Biden and former President Trump win their party's Michigan presidential primary.
This further solidifies the all but certain rematch between both men this November. But the results highlight some of the biggest political vulnerabilities before the general election. For the Democrats, a vigorous, uncommitted campaign surpassed the 10,000 vote goal set by organizers. Activists who don't agree with Mr. Biden's handling of the Israeli-Gaza war organized the uncommitted campaign. For Republicans, Mr. Trump continues to struggle with some influential voter blocs who favor Nikki Haley. Andrew Stewart reporting.
Also at srnnews.com, Hawaii's governor says a $175 million fund to compensate families of people killed in the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century is accepting applications at the end of the week.
Governor Josh Green says the fund for Lahaina wildfire victims will also pay those who were hospitalized with severe injuries. Families of those killed will receive $1.5 million after their eligibility is confirmed. Those seriously injured would receive a share determined by the judge. Green says the fund is an option for survivors who might be considering suing the state of Hawaii, Hawaiian Electric, or other utilities and landowners for their role in the blaze. Maui County has confirmed 101 people died from the August 8th wildfire. 2 people are still missing. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is issuing a disaster declaration due to ongoing wildfires in the state's panhandle. As of Tuesday evening, the Smokehouse Creek fire covered over 250,000 acres and was 0% contained. The state's also battling the Grapevine Creek fire and the Juliet Pass fire. This is SRN News. Details at srnnews.com.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids,
we're getting ready to go home. Yeah.
Installing a toilet or fixing a
yeah.
But thankfully,
it's Weird Wednesday. Brenda Ganske joins us this morning in the final period. She hopefully I'll get. We'll tell you what we're going to talk about here pretty shortly. Brenda will join us in the final period. Plus, we got some strange, unusual news. Body parts and more found in a New York subway. Probably typical. I don't know. Also, Monsterland, Massachusetts. We'll get into that this morning.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzels?
And we'll get your normal headline news and more.
Good luck. That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir,
That is cool.
bothering the customers.
This thing says that is cool.
TracFone Wireless. Now you're in
That's
control.
cool.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Where can you be a star athlete and a math superstar? Where can you prepare for graduate school or your dream job and make friends for the journey? Where can you challenge your mind and inspire your soul? Experience a transforming education at LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. Learn more at lagrange.edu.
Hank Arnold here from Coweta Force. Coweta Force is Noonan's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforce.org or
Wishbone Fried Chicken. It's back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan.
When you hear music to the
We're getting ready to go home.
level, I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, for our show Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com.
What a week it's got to be.
Wisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together. Hey, sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of The Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE.
99.1 FM.
It is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show every day between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern. You'll hear plenty of the best sports talk, including the latest on the Falcons, the Braves, and more. And who knows, you might even hear you. That's the Rod Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports show with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
Yes, it is. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. What's up? TGIW. It's Weird Wednesday. We're going to get weird with you. No, not that kind of weird. So don't even get that out of your mind. What's dirty-minded people? Dirty little mind, dirty little mind. Yeah. Stay tuned. Let's kick it off. You're in the penitentiary. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. That's what it is. I'm your host with the most, Ryan Neal, and of course, $50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast. Shout it out loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're also across plenty of relations out there on the Navajo Nation and internet. And we're across the Jordan Communication and Family Radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right behind us, 99.1 FM WQEE, the key, home of Southern sports and inspirational news. Oh, wait a minute. By the way, for those of you on the YouTube, you got to see the sign. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share. To my haters, get up close to the dial because this straight-edge independent skeptic is ready to go. And to you, haters, listen up to this. Oh, yeah. I am the man around here, whether they like it or not. Welcome into, at about 10 minutes past the hour, we're holding at 66 degrees. Time and temperature brought to you this hour, or this segment, by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Noonan. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Michael the Crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. We'll look at your weather forecast this hour. Kick off with the traffic report from Killingsworth Realty Road Report. That's coming up for you at the top of this segment. But also, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be part of it, because it's a weird Wednesday. We're going to get weird with you. No, come on now. You dirty little mind, dirty little mind, dirty little mind. No, don't get that dirty little mind. We're talking about getting weird. We're going to talk about some strange and unknown. What's up, Solomon? 1212. How you doing this morning? We're getting a little weird with you this morning. We're going to talk about a New York subway worker finding a disembodied leg. We'll talk more about that. And so much unusual things happen in New York City's underground railroad, or underground subway, we should say. We'll talk more about that. Good to hear, Solomon. Great to hear. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share. And you're the first one on the YouTube this morning. Now, everybody else is on the other streams as well this morning. Good morning to the Navajo Nation. We'll go down that list in just a moment. But coming up this next 3 periods, we'll talk about that leg found in a New York City subway. Monsterland, Massachusetts. We'll get you what's going on there. Also, Israel at war. We'll get you more details coming up there. Some headline news. A Grantville mayor, headlines are saying a Grantville mayor and his family was threatened by YouTube. Kenny Morrison, what? Mode. I don't know. You can if I had it. Solomon 1212, sorry. We'll talk about this Grantville Georgia mayor, the so-called threats at this event from a YouTuber. I don't know what's going on. We'll get into it. I'll get into it with you as well. Also, ladies and germs, we have our daily devotion this morning, and Brenda Ganske will join us in the final period. Horrifying History's very own Brenda Ganske. She always brings us stories from the pages of history stained with the blood of the unknown. That's what's coming up in the final period this morning. And we call her Professor Ganske because it's Horrifying History 101 for you, coming up in the final period, always the last Wednesday of every single month. And it's Black History Moments coming up this next couple of hours. We'll have that within the next couple of hours. And what else? What else can we got going on? Monsterland. What else? Oh, we'll talk more about Sting's final match coming up in March. Also tonight, his final appearance on AEW Dynamite. We'll give you a rundown of that show. Won't be taking but a short segment of that, but we'll let you guys know. And we got more strange and unusual, weird news for you in the next couple of hours before we head into the Horrifying History 101. Well, bye. I wish I had that to give you. I really do, but I appreciate your support. Like, subscribe, and share. All right, well, let's jump into it. It's time to kick off the morning with our Killingsworth Realty Road Report. Keep going up, keep liking, share, subscribe, send it out. You don't have to do it alone. You want the perfect home? Don't do it alone. Todd and Amy can help you out. Killingsworth Realty. Okay, so let's take a look at the road report there this morning. Northwest Atlanta, up there in Northwest Atlanta. Stall big rig in the second right lane, I-75 northbound near exit 252. That's up till about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Douglas County, there's a crash off the side to the left. Past Highway 92, expect delays up to 7:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You would think they would expand these roadways with so much traffic. Fulton County crash blocking lanes both ways on Camp Creek Parkway and Washington Road to 7:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Traffic in Stockbridge is clearing up right now with a crash near Hudson Bay Bridge Road, exit 224. That's on the right shoulder, delays up to about another 4 minutes. It should be clearing up as we speak. In Cobb County, crash in near the Terra Mill Road and Bridge Mill Road. Use Windy Hill Road because 7:30 should be clear up. We're hoping that's what's going to happen. Buckhead, we told you a sinkhole repair going on to 11 p.m. tonight. All right, no traffic issues in Bullsboro, Lower Fayetteville Road, a popular road in Coweta County in Noonan. As well, downtown Jackson Street, picking up just a tad bit, heading towards LaGrange Street. Go eastbound and down U.S. Highway, go south, Interstate 85, Hogansville and Granville looking good this morning. No traffic issues there. Heading into LaGrange, traffic picking up a tad bit on New Franklin Road as well as on Commerce Avenue headed into downtown LaGrange, the best alternate route to get into West Point, because if you head on down Interstate 85, you're going to come upon a lot of construction. First of all, you get off at the Kiel Boulevard, you'll have no way to get out. Get off at the West Point exit, construction still going on at the right. Take a left, you go to the Loves, get your gas, and get gassed up with some Hardee's. Hardee's, the best breakfast around. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Head on down. Let's go further on down to Interstate 85, heading into exit 79 in Alabama. That's shut down. We don't know how long that will be shut down, but you cannot get off the bridge. You're going to have to go further down to exit 77 in Valley, Alabama to get in. No traffic issues in Casita as well as Auburn this morning. Looking good. That's a look at what's going on. Their traffic. Traffic brought to you by Killingsworth Realty, the Killingsworth Realty Road Report. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you being with us here. I'm Ryan O'Neal. You're inside the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown on this 28th day of February. Just a couple more days left in the month of February. I can't believe it's over. Jesus Christ. We got an extra day tomorrow. Usually this is the last day, but tomorrow we got an extra day. Why? Because it's a leap year. Leaping into 2024. And leaping into 2024, tomorrow we'll have a great devotion for you. Today's devotion, though, brought to you by Noonan City Church, 17 First Avenue, here in the Metro Atlanta area, Noonan. Pastor Jimmy Ellison inviting you out every Sunday morning along with Pastor Randy, Pastor Cedric, Pastor Darren, and the staff at Noonan City Church. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. inside services, under the tent, 9 a.m. and 10:30 services, and drop in for the cool hip kids at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday evening. Noonan City Church, transforming lives for Jesus' sake. Today's daily devotion coming from Jesus Listens from Sarah Young. She's bringing together Psalms 89:15, Psalms 31:16, Romans 3:22, and 1 John 1:7. She said, "Delightful Jesus, help me walk in the light of your presence, walk in the light of your presence, acclaiming you, rejoicing in your name, and exciting in your name and your righteousness, to acclaim your praise. You are strong, you are excellent, and including shouts and applauses. I rejoice in your name by delighting in all that you do. You're my Savior, you're my shepherd, you're my best friend, you're my Lord, you're my God, you're my sovereign King, you're my friend who loves me, unfailing, unlike others. When I am walking in your glorious light, your blood cleanses me from all sins." Ooh, I love it. But that don't mean you can go out there and just get drunk on the dadgum cruise ship and then call other people out that don't believe now. Sorry, I'm telling my Christian brothers and sisters, you can't just do what everybody else does and pretend and say, well, no. He cleanses, your blood cleanses me from all sin. That means you got to stop doing it, though. You can't, you say, I am a sinner in need of forgiveness. Moreover, this blessing cleanses me, enables me to have fellowship with other real believers. Lord, I delight in walking in light with you, enjoying your bright, loving presence. In Jesus' name, amen. That's a good one. Just want to go ahead and tell you guys, stay tuned. We've got a lot of news coming up for you in just a few moments. 18 minutes past the hour, we're holding at 66 degrees. Wow. Wow. Going to be up near 70 in just a few in the metro Atlanta area. That's active pest control time and temperature on the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You guys are in lockdown with us this morning. We're locking it down. We're going to talk some news. We're going to talk some stuff that's going on with some strange and unusual stuff. Brenda Ganske joins us in the final period for Horrifying History 101. Class will be in session as she stains the history books with the blood of the unknown. We'll get into that in the final period. But I just want to get back to this right quick. I know a lot of people. I hear from a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people, but I hear from a lot of people that I kind of know in the long run, they're going to sit there. Thanks. Like, subscribe, and share on the YouTube page, by the way. They're like, oh, man, I believe in God, and he's cleansing my blood. Yeah, I believe in, because that's what I just read. But you can't go out there and do the same thing the rest of the people in the world doing and call them out and say that they're wrong and you're right. It's the same thing as you got people who will sit down and literally wake up every morning with hate in their heart for somebody who doesn't vote the way they vote. And they want to go out here and they want to call everybody kind of names, and the world is coming to an end because of them. And the United States is not where it is because of them. And we live in the greatest country in the world. For those of you who don't, I apologize. I love your countries too, but United States, we do that. But you got people out there that won't listen, that want to come off, that want to drop off, they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear the truth because the truth contradicts their hatred. And the hatred of, well, it's all everybody. No, it's not. You wake up every morning bowling, mad. If the first thing you do as a Christian, you're supposed to wake up and happy and talk with God. You're not supposed to wake up going, I sure do hate this, and I don't like this. Come on. The United States is, in a couple of months, is going to be voting in one old man or another old man. And we're not going to defend people. One's on a list. The other one's on a list of that was on the island. The other one's on a list to be in the nursing home. I mean, so the reality of it is, if you wake up every morning with this hate in your heart and you say, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus, I believe in him. You can't do that. You can't say that. You can't be that way. You really have to be loving. You can't say, because you're going to say God hates, God hates evil. He doesn't hate people. Okay. And you're going to say, well, I can go out here and get drunk, go on a cruise, have relationships with whoever I want to have, but I'm going to call out that next door neighbor who doesn't know Jesus, that's doing the same thing. No, if your neighbor's doing that or doing other things, you can't call them out until you get that out of you, until you get that big old tree out of your eye. You can't call somebody else out. But once you do that, then you don't call them out going, yeah, yeah, yeah. You go, God is all about me. I was a terrible person. Last week I thought I could go on a cruise and get drunk and have sexual relationships with whoever I wanted and claim to be a Christian. So that's just what I'm going to drop in there this morning. That's got my take off of today's daily devotion is we can be saved by the blood of Jesus. And if somebody's lying to you, telling you can just do whatever you want as long as you show up and put some money in the pot at your local church, then they're lying to you because you can't just do what you want. You can't get out here, get drunk at the local bar and then go to church on Sunday and say, well, I'm better because I'm showing up to church. No, we're all sinners at church. I don't walk up in church and go, look at that guy over there. He's got more money than this guy over here, so he's less of a sinner than this guy over here. I go, what's up, sinners? When I walk up to church, I go, what's up, all the sinners up in the house? You guys went, man, I wish I could go to that kind of church. Yeah, I didn't know that you were. Yeah, that's the way it really is. All right, let's jump into some headline news this morning. We're going to kick it off at about 23 minutes past the hour. Oh, there's a lot of cults out there. It's called the cult of politics by worshiping all these different cult members in the politics. The cult of being online. Every day you got to get online and say something, bro. Real churches are not like the cults. They're not Jim Jones's. Because, man, that dude was a cult leader who made money and had relationships with all kinds. He was an embarrassment, but he was a cult. So, but I'll be honest with you. That's who it is. No hate here from me on you, bro. I agree. There's a lot of cults out there. All right, let's jump into it. Speaking of all this, you guys, if you think that's weird and you get into that, I want you to get into this. Z-Mill, is that it? I want you to hear this. This is a unique situation. Now, YouTube and all this stuff, all these cult, there's a bunch of cult stuff on here. You got the left and the right wing nuts on the internet. You got the people believing in the QAnon conspiracy nut theories. You got all this stuff that's not real. Okay? And then they go, well, I don't want to believe in God, man. I don't want to believe in God. God can't be real, but I can believe in that broom in the corner has got to be a lizard person watching me, right? Because I'm not telling people what it wants to hear, right? No, it's not true. Well, we get a lot of these conspiracies crap. And I know that I lose a lot of listeners because I don't sit here and lie to you. But I'm a real news person. I'm not real radio, not in my mom's basement, not reading cult mindset things because I'm mad because something didn't go my way. And making up excuses. Walk around, open the door. Now they were locking the door, dumbass. They didn't want that idiot going in there. No, you're right. It's all about stuff. But Grantville City Council meeting lasted about 15, 25, or even maybe a half an hour, depending on who you ask. The council members finished their business quickly and offered over objections from council members Miss Berry. They approved the Agenda 2 and 1 with Berry objecting that there would be no time allotted at the end of the meeting for those residents to have comments. They approved of the meetings of January 22nd and February 12th, work session special meetings 2 to 1 with Berry's objections, Council members and Mayor Pro Tem Casey Evans, who attended the meeting by phone, did not vote on these items. Like, I can understand. Don't want to make too many people mad. The meeting went into chaos, though, while Mayor Richard Prochner turned off the camera as Russell Pickron, a LaGrange resident and a YouTuber who has published critical videos about the mayor. He's published many videos about many people in the area, from LaGrange to Hogansville to Grantville, some stuff here in Coweta County. People have differences of opinion, okay? And that's what the different news stories are. But people have differences of opinion, and I can understand that because we live in a free country, but I don't understand some of the derogatory stuff that leads up to fighting and threats. Now, I don't know. The article is saying that the mayor and his family was threatened at the end of this particular meeting. So I'm going to read through it to make sure that's not. A lot of headlines will pop out there and make you think things. That's the things about these dumbass headlines when you read them or see them on the internet or something, is they got you thinking that somebody's saying something and the article's 100% different. That's called clickbait. And clickbait is the worst thing that you guys can fall for and everything. So don't do that. Listen to somebody like me who's going to go through the story and give it to you and then let you make a decision rather than the other side's evil or that person's evil. No. Every one of us has got a little good and evil in us. Everyone has got a little good and bad in us. Well, Zach, what's up, brother? I'm getting into a news story this morning out of Granville, Georgia, about a YouTuber who wanted to speak at a council meeting at the end. One of the council members said that, hey, they didn't have enough time for everybody to be able to do it. They wanted to hear from the public, but cameras were turned off, and supposedly this mayor and his family they're threatened. That's what the news article clickbait says. And I'm just going to tell you, this is the problem I have with all these clickbaits. This is why I get on and try to explain all these news stories when I do news stories, because it turns people against each other just by reading clickbait headlines. Like during the pandemic, you would have thought that nobody that come from another country was going to get any money help during the pandemic, or you'd have thought that they were taking every one of your money, according to whichever clickbait item was popped up on the Facebook or YouTube or wherever. And I'm not blaming YouTube. I'm just saying it's what they do search. Anyway, during this meeting of chaos, Mayor Proctor and the resident Russell Pickner, he makes videos, made his way to the podium after the city business, began talking with him. Proctor called the citizens' comments, although there were call for citizen comments, although there was nothing on the agenda allotting any time for this to happen. Of course, Russell's protest said that Proctor took the camera and left the room without even making the meeting adjourned. Wow. He said, what did that piece of crap mayor go? Where'd that piece of crap mayor go? What's up, Pete? How you doing this morning in the Navajo Nation? And he said, does the Granville Police Department support this? Do y'all support this? And that's what he asked the police chief. The police chief over in Granville did not answer. Barry asked if the camera belonged to the city. The city manager answered that it was not the city's camera. And Barry said, this is very strange. Barry asked, who's chairing the meeting? She's a member of the council. So, there's kind of a wow going on there. Now, Evan, even though Evans took over the chair and gave Mr. Pickron 3 minutes to speak, Pickron spent his time rallying against the mayor. He said he doesn't like people to stand up here and talk freely. Strange indeed, right? And people do have a right to speak if they got a different opinion. What's up, Chris, my brother? What's up out in my mom's basement? I love this guy. He's going to love us. He said, what's up? He said, right out of my mom's basement. Chris is just going to mess with all of us, guys. Oh, man. I don't know why Chris don't want to be liked by us. We want to like you, Chris. We want you to be part of the family, bro. You're from Australia, cool country. Come on. Become a friend. Don't be saying derogatory things, bro. Come on. You know you're better than that. Come on. And if I hurt your feelings about your mom's basement, I apologize to you, brother. I was picking with you. All right, let's jump back into it. Anyway, he said, sir, anyway, they broke into asking questions, his name for the record and everything. And Mr. Pickron, who I know of his work, said, don't interrupt me. So he said, please don't interrupt me again, sir. So he said he has the Granville Police Department to issue my citation, which my attorney got taken off. He said, thankfully, Judge Reeves knows the law. And of course, this is kind of a back and forth thing. I never heard any kind of threat from him. Fam up, Chris. There you go, real Robbie. We appreciate that. We appreciate that, real Robbie. But, what I like to say is I read the news story, and if you guys kind of would have read the news story or saw just the top of the article, you would have thought, you know what you guys would have thought? You'd have thought that this man had threatened this mayor and his family. All he did was calling him out. They had a difference of opinion. They probably have a difference of opinion all the time. And the mayor, I think Mayor Proctor is a cool cat. Nothing against him myself. But he got up and walked out because I guess he didn't want to be a part of it. It just didn't adjourn the meeting like he should have, and everything to that sort. So Angela Blonde is my lovely bride's on. Woohoo! But after reading this whole thing, it's just the differences of opinion and the differences of opinion of different people and everything. And it just sometimes goes a little too far. Now, will it make people watch these things or clickbait these things? Yeah. It'll make people download it. It made me want to download and read this story from out of Grantville because I thought somebody had threatened the mayor, like you get these people out here threatening these politicians all the time on both sides of the aisle because they don't like them. And I don't know if that's real or not. Some people think it's fake things that they're making it up. Some people feel like they're going after the person in their party, but that's just the way they do to grab you in. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the top stories right there. Recycling your face is back in your fish tank. Priceless. I love it. Trust time. Nobody likes any politicians. I'm sure they all get threats all the time. You know that's right, Truth Time. You know that's right. You know that's right. You know that's right. But I didn't think this guy really did any kind of threats. I think he just was like, hey, he's not listening to me, and I'm trying to get my point across. All right, Zach Hunter, I appreciate you. What a cool name. Thanks for subscribing, my friend, and keep on rocking too. And Real Robbie, I appreciate you as well this morning. Recycling is pretty good in different things. There you go. Andrew, what are you saying? What are you drinking this morning? You're my wife. You're not supposed to be talking. Please take that off of there. Nobody's recycling that. What? I don't understand that. Okay. All right, let's jump into it. We're going to take a break. I don't know what's going on. I'm losing control in the feed this morning. We had a lot of people in the feed coming up all of a sudden. We got more stuff to talk about after the break. Guys, stay with us. We're going to be talking a little bit more about some stuff that's going on in Israel. Plus, we get weird with you this morning. We're going to talk about a New York City subway worker cleaning up. He finds a leg. I mean, a disembodied leg. I mean, it's a typical day in New York, right? Subway, at least. And we're going to talk about Monsterland, Massachusetts. All that's coming up for you this morning on this edition of RyanORadio Penitentiary. Still to come, Brenda Ganske joins us in the final period as Horrifying History 101 class is in session, where Brenda stains the blood, stains the history, the books of history with the blood of the unknown. Let's say it like that. There you go. Yeah, I got it right there. Back in a moment. Stay with us. We got more details still to come. Hey, don't you dare move away, because if you do, hey, what's up, Sweet Leaf? And Sue and Bob and Tim and Rodney K all over the Navajo Nation. Thank you guys for being with us. Oh, Pete says, hey, to the Navajo Nation from Pete and Noonan. All right. Oh, wow. Well, it wasn't from that man. Another person threatened the mayor. So You can't threaten people, man. You just can't threaten people. So, the gentleman released a video of Proctor on Tuesday by 1 p.m. Proctor received an email death threats. Wow. I got to get back into that. That's all the way down at the bottom. In the other business, the council members passed this, that, and the other. Oh, we're going to have a company come in and film movies. We're going to have the Easter egg hunt. And the mayor gets threatened. I mean, it's all in a day's work. It's all in a day's work. I'm not going to say that. I'm on drink number two. The first Vac and orange. The second is Vac and Sprite. Okay. V8. I appreciate that common sense. I really do. That's an honor, but I don't think so. If I was doing that, I'd be making a lot of money, right? All those people make a lot of money. Common sense. Common sense is like, yeah, you look like a guy, so never mind. He goes, never mind. Vodka, okay, I see. Vodka and orange juice, and then vodka and Sprite. Oh, it must be 5 o'clock somewhere. Truth time. Common sense is funny. No, I'm not saying dodo bird. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. It says truth time. I am doing news and a radio show at a real radio station, all that kind of stuff. Common sense, just kind of talk. We're going to do weird stuff this morning. It's Weird Wednesday, so we're going to talk about some weird and strange stuff and all that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. Like, subscribe, and share, folks, if you don't mind. I appreciate all the fantastic, cool cats on here, especially the cool names. We want to welcome you back. Oh, yeah, Truth Time's with us as well as Common Sense. That's a cool name. He's like, I just got common sense, everybody. So cool. All right, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Dodo, you wanted me to say Dodo? I said Dodo, Andrew. Welcome back in. Yes. We're going to pull you out of that penalty box for safekeeping. You're inside the RyanORadio Penitentiary. It's a Weird Wednesday. We're going to get weird with it. No. Come on. Dirty little mind. Get it? No. Not that kind of weird. We're going to go inside some strange and unusual news. We'll talk about a subway, New York City subway worker finds a disembodied leg. And they're still looking, I guess, for the body. And we're going to talk about Monsterland, Massachusetts. What's so weird about it? We'll get into it this morning. There you go. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple of things to talk about right here on the show. We're going to finish talking about this Israel at war in just a moment. Let's go to the phone lines. You are on the phone lines, RyanORadio Penitentiary. What in the world? We're 20 minutes away from the top of the hour, by the way, to everybody listening. Hello? You'd have hung on, you'd have been on, Dodo.
7:40 a.m. You forgot the temperature.
Yeah, they're paying for it, so I have to do that. It is currently 66 degrees, and since they're paying for it, and everything will do it, because that's called professional. Sitting on the internet and having clickbait is called being a moron. I said dodo. It's dodo, like dodo bird.
Doo-doo.
Why would I say that?
Because the person was saying saying he feeds his doo-doo to his fish. He's recycling.
Okay. I didn't see
I
that.
didn't know you could do that.
I didn't. Well, he knows what he's doing. Everybody has a profession at knowing something they're doing. I know all about this business, but I don't know anything about fish. I asked everybody about coffee the other day, and they told me the different coffees out there. I'm like, wow, I didn't know there was. I thought it was only dark roasted and light roasted. You know.
Well, I know I've seen fish eat cat food before, and turtles, fish and turtles,
Right.
and ducks. They'll eat cat food if you throw it out at them for them. You know, it's
Dodo.
better than bread.
We got the dodo birds coming back, so that's another good one.
But the only thing that I'm aware they use human feces for golf courses. You know how they get them really, really green?
Yeah.
That's what they use.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm never going on a golf course ever.
Tiger Woods is out there walking on that grass.
All those rich guys up there, those billionaire guys, those billionaire heroes we have out there that's going to save us.
Human dung.
They're walking on their human dung. They're dodos.
I had a friend that lived on a golf course, and I went over to the clubhouse, and you
Right.
can smell it.
Wow.
They keep it in a big tank, and it's terrible. We were in the hot tub, and it was awful. You could smell it, and I was like, couldn't they put that thing somewhere else, but instead of over here beside the pool?
Right.
But, you know.
Oh, man. Wow.
But, I mean, your face when you read that, that's what was priceless.
Oh, okay, on the YouTube. I'm trying to keep it the way it is, and they're having fun on there. I want them to have fun on the YouTube page. I don't want them to feel like they're being restricted.
Well, it'd be more fun if you just said doo-doo when you read it.
No, yeah, it's dodo. We'll say dodo on the radio.
The FCC is
I
not
know.
get on to you for saying doo-doo. Now, they will get on to you for saying the
Blah.
word that starts with the S.
Yeah. No, it's not that.
You can say doo-doo on the air, and it's fine.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. I'm not into all that.
Or how about this? How about saying dookie? You can say dookie.
Well, that's a great album by Green Day. I love it. Truth Time says, I got plenty of poo for the golf course. I got, never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Gross, all these years I've walked on human poo, says Pete Davis. Jack says, bro, what? I know, Jack, that we're talking. This is a great, interesting topic with the, headline news this morning. Poo on the golf course.
After they pick it up in the can, ultimately where it ends up, everybody thinks, okay, they take it to the landfill and bury it and stuff like that.
Headline news, poo on the golf course.
They used to. Now your trash is turned into, they burn it and they take the ashes.
Right.
And make concrete. So when you pour,
I'm learning all kind of things. Poo on the radio this month, says
trash.
Poo on the radio this morning, says Jack. That's the headline news right there, guys. Nobody else, CNN, Fox, none of them have that top news story that I got this morning. Poo on the
How to recycle your own poop. Mm-hmm.
That is the top news story of the day. Forget the primaries, forget everything else, Israel war, forget all that. This
News and CNN start talking about it, we're gonna know they're copying us, right?
of course they're copying us. That's it.
And if Fox,
The good poo
listen,
experts
ladies
are
and gentlemen, think about this. If Fox News and CNN News are copying us, then don't you want to get your advertisement, your commercial on our radio station?
That's right. Call me at 770-347-9947, and you can be the sponsor of the poo of the day.
Yeah. Because without us, you know, what would Fox and CNN do? They just have to make up more crazy alien stories.
I love this. The audience is loving this news story. They want to investigate into it more. Jack says, let's break down your story more truth. I'm invested in it now. All right, bro. We're going to investigate. We're going to go have a 3-part series of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. The RyanORadio Penitentiary is going to have a 3-part series on poo and what to do with poo and poo on the golf course and poo in your yard.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little homework assignment then. Over the weekend, you watch all your videos and read up on all the different things that happen with human poop. Besides
Human feces.
Besides it floating down the Chattahoochee River, of course.
Yeah, for those who live in the Georgia area. Yeah. Well, actually, I could get there and get a sample of it.
Think about
and
it
put
for a
it.
minute. Somebody is getting rich.
Oh, they are. They're doing well.
Things that they do with human poop.
I love it.
I mean,
CNN makes
think
me
about how much you could charge one of these golf courses for, going out there and fertilizing their grass.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. If it was like fertilization and we're talking about that, but bringing up the poo, now this is just an in-depth story, a deep dive into the poo, discovered.com. I am going to look into this, guys, and bring you the poo report every day.
Right, and there's some bacteria you can pour on it and it creates natural gas.
Welcome to the poo report. I'm going to do that, guys. Well, there is a lot of things you can do with it, but
very few people know about it. That means that whoever does know about it is getting very, very rich off of it. Because that's not something.
Let's make some money off of this, guys. Let's do this. If we can make money off our own poo.
I mean, what kid says when I grow up, I want to shovel Shih Tzu.
No, don't try to get as close to it as you can, because that's a $1,500 fine, and that'll make somebody else that come on the station think they can say it. Don't say it. They don't say it, because if somebody else, these younger people come on and go, I can coach all I want on there, and then that'll be another $1,500 fine.
No, you can't. The FCC's tightening up. You can't even on some of the other stations, where you used to could hear, like the N-word and stuff. They don't even say it anymore. They bleep it out.
Well, I'll sell some advertising for real poo news.
Up on all that stuff.
Truth teller, we gotta have real poo news. Yeah, it is a $1,500 fine every time there's a curse word put on me on a local radio station like I am, but it's even more than that. The bigger, like
iHeart and stuff.
iHeart and CBS and all NBC, all these big companies, they got $1 million fines every time. So they go by where you are.
They know they can get that money out of them.
Well, no, they know they can get that money out of anybody, but it's not about getting that money out of anybody. It's just not the proper way to do broadcasting. And if you drop that, that's what happened. That's why AEW don't drop those words anymore. TNT had to spend all them millions last year when they were doing that. But anyway, let's get back to it. I don't want to get into that story. I want to finish this story that over Mayor Proctor in Grantville. Never had before, no, but I've known radio stations that have, Jack. Not in my career, but other people I've known. Let's see here. The Grantville Police Department investigated into a threat after Mr. Pigron released the information about a video on Tuesday about his altercation at the city council meeting in Grantville, the mayor walking off, and then some guy named Dale Burrell sent a threatening email to the mayor, says, "You pathetic piece of trash. You should be killed along with your family." Now, guys, you can disagree with people all day, but threatening somebody just because you disagree with them is not the proper way of doing it. If you're like, if he'd have just said you're a piece
Well,
of
that wasn't actually a threat. He said you should be. He didn't say I'm going to.
well, no, he said you're a pathetic piece of trash and should be killed along with your family. So no, you can't threaten
Why
people.
why was he angry with the mayor? Did it say?
No, this guy, it was a bystander. It wasn't even the guy that went to speak was felt like the mayor got up and walked out on him and disrespected him, basically. And then he put a video out
What's
like
his name?
huh? Do what?
What was his name? Something Earl?
No, Pickron was the Russell Pickron is the gentleman that puts the videos out. And now I'm just that gentleman has every freedom of right to put anything out and say what he wants if he wants to disagree with the city. But he felt like he was disrespected, so he put a video out about the mayor walking off and turning off videos, a video camera that the city's is it the city's video camera? What it was, I don't know. The city council meeting went a little too long. I know disagreements. That's fine. But a bystander who was watching one of the videos sent the death threats. So it was a different guy that did it. So
And what was his name?
Dale Burrell.
Dale Burrell?
Yeah. I don't know where he's from.
Said Earl.
No, not Earl. It sounds like it'd be Earl because he's from the South, but all right, we've got to take a break again. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We got more. Oh, let's shake a stick out. We got some strange news coming up for you. His family ain't got nothing to do with it. That's right, Truth Time. He doesn't. Nobody's family does. I don't know why people continue to do these hateful threats because you disagree with somebody. And especially if you see, this is what happens when you watch a video or listen to something or see something on TV. This is what happens when you see something and somebody has a disagreement with someone that's different party or different views, and they put out, hey, this is what I feel about this. There's people
There's another way to look at this.
No. Let me finish. We're getting ready to go to break. This is why you don't pay attention to these people. So why I keep trying to tell people, when people get out here and do clickbait and they put videos out, they have rights to say their opinions. You have rights to view them. But if it angers you so much that you have to attack somebody, then you probably don't need to be watching these videos and listening to them. Back in a moment. What's up there, Wolverine fanboy? Good morning to you. I got to get these spots in, and I can't just skip out on spots. They're paying. These people paying for their time, so.
Well, you know, they have this thing now they're doing where, like, if you are angry, this is new tactics for the teaching people how to deal with anger. Maybe he said something that upset the mayor. So instead of the mayor sitting there and festering and being angry,
right,
maybe he needed a little time out, you know, because they tell you nowadays, they say, well, when you feel upset, take a time out, leave the situation, you know. So maybe he just had to walk away because he was feeling some kind of way about what the guy was saying.
Well, there's been video.
Because we don't know how professional this guy was.
Well, no. I know that.
He was saying.
I know that.
Because you know he's a mayor, right? He's probably seen everything.
Right, and
through his career.
My point is.
When we get up and walk away, something had to have been said.
Well, no, here's the thing.
Triggered his emotion.
Yeah, well, let me go ahead and explain what it is, give a background on it. This man does a YouTube page. He follows all the different, he lives in LaGrange. He follows all the different places, LaGrange, Noonan, Hogansville, and all that kind of Grantville. And he's always kind of having a difference of opinion of stuff that's going on in the city, and he's always putting videos out about it. So I believe the mayor didn't want to face this guy because he didn't want to get into a disagreement with him. I agree with that. And the guy was just kind of putting his opinion out there on the internet, which he has a right to do as well. But the people that take what we say on the internet and radio and everything to the extreme is a problem. You can have an opinion without other people wanting to bring you down. They never got along. There's a differences of opinion. It's understandable. I get that. It had nothing to do with the gentleman that was there asking the questions and the mayor. To me, it had to do with the third person who was not even at this meeting, but just saw a video about what this guy had and decided he's ready to threaten somebody because he don't like the way that the guy walked off and didn't call the session. And the mayor should have called the session.
Yeah.
So
like when you're a third party, you're a spectator, basically.
Yeah.
You're not really.
All right, let me get back to it.
So,
I'm coming back.
for you to really
I'm coming back. Welcome back to the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning to you. Good evening to you. Good afternoon to you.
You don't know.
And everything is going on there. We welcome you back in to the RyanORadio Penitentiary. If your opinions are too far apart, there's no sense in arguing your points. I agree with that. Scarecrow, what's up this morning? I agree with you guys. We still got to come up in the final period. Brenda Ganske will join us. That's coming up. I tell you, I want to get a little bit more of this before we get out of here, Andra, for this period, because we got to go to the top. Well, actually, we don't really have much time. We got a minute or so.
I'm actually going to sign off, and you have a good show, okay?
Okay, you're signing off?
Yeah, well, you said you had a guest coming on.
In the final period, not in the second period.
Oh, well, never mind then.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about this and other headline news. And I got some strange and unusual stuff I want to talk about, guys. A New York City subway worker finding a disembodied leg. Where was the rest of the body? We'll talk about that. Some strange things going on in New York City subways. And we'll talk about Monsterland, Massachusetts, and also a few other things going on that's weird in the world. And we'll continue talking about this situation right after the top of the hour. Stay tuned. Yeah, I wish everybody was like you guys, would say to learn not to disagree. If you disagree, don't argue with each other. I like that.
A leg?
Yes, a leg. Somebody had jumped. I think somebody had jumped and committed suicide, and the subway train took their, probably drugged the body all the way down, and they were cleaning up and they found it.
They didn't find it to begin with.
They didn't find.
Maybe it got hung up under the train. That's odd. Just find a leg.
Oh, it's strange.
The mafia got somebody and chopped them up and just they threw them
Nah.
in the subway. Maybe the rest of the body.
The mafia is the good guys. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. This makes mornings fun. Thank you, Truth Time. I appreciate that. Jack says, bro, Skip shouting me out, and my mom could hear it. Okay, I'll say hello so your mom can hear it, Jack, when we come back on. Good morning to Jack, too. We'll shout you out on the radio. Sorry, Andrew. Getting responses.
You're good. You're good.
Jack, I will shout you out on the radio. Don't worry, brother.
I'm just thinking out loud anyway. I'm not really saying.
Oh, I know. You're kind. What am I going? I'm putting these words together. I'm thinking some things because I'm trying to figure out how this leg. I know.
I'm saying, like, the leg could come from anywhere.
Right. It might not just been right. Yeah.
But it does have DNA. And how fresh is it? Is it a freshly severed leg?
That's the question.
It's going to, decay. these are the details, that really make the difference.
I just thought it was an unusual news story, and I thought, well, let's talk about it this morning because it's weird.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good topic to talk about.
What in the world is going on with your computer? Shaka-daka-daka.
I mean, is it a female leg?
No,
Leg?
it was a male. They're just feeling this.
Question.
They're saying that they feel like it was somebody that might have jumped in front of a subway train. Okay, here we go.
But what if it's not?
It's Groundhog Day again. Just imagine going to a funeral, viewing and just seeing a leg. I know, right? Sounds like a plan. There you go. All right, yeah, I finally got it sent over.
Well, I think they should take the DNA from the leg and scan it with anyone, depending on how, they need to determine how old it is, and then run it through the missing persons database to see if they can get a match.
True. All right, let's put these over here. We're getting ready to get back in just a few moments. Let's see. I'll make sure I got. Yep.
Because we've got people missing in Noonan, I mean, is it a Caucasian, African American?
I got the detail. Well, I'll tell you when we get there because I got the news story in front of me. I just give a little insight to it so people will listen. I don't give the whole story.
Okay.
But I try to give the insight to it without.
Are probably thinking now,
What's up, Dimma? What's up? I've seen hey, Jack says, precisely you, man. Just liked and subscribed. I've seen you in a prank call videos before. I don't know, but why they troll you so bad and you're a good guy. Oh, thank you. And right time. What if the foot was on a pillow? Huh? Right. That's a good idea. It's fine for him to go ahead and troll us, Jack. It's cool, man. I got my own trolls that take care of them. Or they would call trolls. They're like, don't you mess with Ryan. I had a guy the other day from England. His name's Luke, and I don't think nobody can mess with him. He was just sitting there defending me all morning. You know what he said? You know what the guy from London said? You know what the guy from London said? He said they're made to respect the monarchy over there, whether they want to or not. Oh, marriage, Valera. I don't know what you wrote, but you got a bunch of words in there, just like you type the letters. What's up? Game over. Like and subscribe. We appreciate it. What is this? Valerie? Is it Valerie on with us? Okay. Cats came over. Looks like a frog. I don't know if it's a frog, but it looks like a frog. Sorry.
Say something, Valerie.
All she did was type in. Thank you, Gail, for liking and subscribing off on the Facebook page, too. Thank you, guys, on Facebook. Come on over here, guys. Let's see. Oh, we're at 100%. Good deal.
And make sure you share this on your other social media.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and share on those social media. And if you got all kind of friends, get them to come on because it's time for fun. Tomorrow's True Crime Thursday, guys. We'll do true crime stories. Woo! Man, tomorrow's True Crime Thursday. I love True Crime Thursday. Now all the networks are trying to have a true crime night. I've been doing true crime shows forever. Like, subscribe, and share. Go up. We're coming back, guys.
time. No mistakes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late.
Good morning. Good morning. Here we go. I think we are still going. Stewie, welcome into the final the Noonan Dance. That's right, Pete. Finally, welcome into period number 2. It's a weird Wednesday. Got a lot to talk about, including typically unusual incidents on the New York City subway. That's coming up in just a few. Monsterland, Massachusetts, and Sting's last appearance on AEW Dynamite tonight. But first, who am I? I'm RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm the one, the only Ryan O'Neal. And of course, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast, Shout It Out Loud, across our RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock Radio, Real Radio, Internet out on the Navajo Nation, as well as Arizona and New Mexico. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, And finally, ladies and germs, we are across Jordan Communication and Family radio stations, including right here at the home of inspirational talk, headline news, the RyanORadio Penitentiary and Southern Sports, 99.1 FM, WQEE the Key. You can see it in the background on the YouTube. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere. Like, subscribe, share. Please get us up going. Get as many people on as watching, because we got people that really like what's going on with us this morning. We'll appreciate that. And to my haters, I got one little thing to say to you. Tell them Triple H. I am the man around here, whether they like it or not. Welcome back in. And we've got Andrew Pilatus with us on here. She's a couple of things to me, including the better half of me. And she has a real life Bible expert. Do what? Huh?
Don't forget pain in the butt.
I was going to try to not get into that.
Ryan, I'm hungry. Go fix me a sandwich.
Just get a Snickers.
Ryan, I'm thirsty. Go get me some Sprite.
Oh, I know, every 5 minutes.
Do I have a pomegranate in there, Ryan?
No, drive all the way to the other side of town to get me one.
Yeah, go to the store. I know it's 9 o'clock at night, but I want you to get up and go to the store.
I'm not going to get into all that this morning. We're trying to stay positive here. It's a weird Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you being with us. We got a couple of news stories I want to drop in right quick before we do any discussion. So let me drop a couple of headline news stories in for you this morning. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the headline news music. Stay tuned. Here's what's going on in headlines. No comments I'm going to give. Just give you the news right quick. Israel military says it's intensifying its battle against Hamas in the southern Gaza Strip around one of the key cities as it seeks to seize weapons and uncover hidden infrastructures. IDF continues their operations there, as there could be a ceasefire as early as Monday. A convicted felon and murder suspect has escaped police in Louisiana after pepper spraying and then stealing a police cruiser and taking off once they were taking him from the jail to the hospital, taking him back to jail following a hospital visit. Inmate Leon Ruffin, his jail record said that he was arrested on July 24th and was being held there in the Jefferson Parsons County Jail, and being included with a couple of different things, robbery and other things within the area. He's got second-degree murder as well. AT&T is giving back money to you customers who lost something the other day. I will give you that shout out. Hold on. I got you, bro. AT&T will reimburse customers who were affected last week during that full half a day of losing their internet and everything. So you're going to get that back, ladies and gentlemen. And veteran sports writer Pete King will retire from penning a longtime Football Morning in America column after 27 years. The 66-year-old's last column came out this past Monday on Sports Illustrated. Well, I'll tell you, those are some of the headline news there. Good morning to Jack. What's off? Jack Meoff. Jack Meoff, good morning.
And you wouldn't say doo-doo.
His name is Jack Meloff. Okay, it's Jack Meloff. All right, let me get back to it. Good morning, Jack Meloff. He said he wanted his mom. He said he wanted his mom to hear it. I don't know why, but. So. What, Jack Meloff? It's a French name, right, Jack? Your name's it's a French name, Meloff, right? It's a French name.
I'm about to pee in my pants.
What? It's a French name. He's probably from France. Like, right, Jack? You're probably from France, right? All right. He's got one of these French names. He's a French lover.
Oh, let me breathe. Let me breathe.
I mean, that's what he said. He said it's spelled Meloff, but he said it was pronounced that way, and of course it's got to be. It's a French name.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, come on. I mean, that's not going to get no FCC stuff. It might make somebody mad. But.
You know what, Ryan?
What? It might make somebody mad, but it's not against the FCC regulations. I mean, people are calling women the B words on the radio. I mean, come on.
Ryan, you know what?
What?
AT&T, they're giving people back their money, okay, for 1 day of service that they were out, okay?
Exactly.
Now that comes out to about $5.
Ooh! You can use that to go to McDonald's.
Now if you use your phone, and if you're a business or a person that uses your phone to make money, you probably lost more than $5 that day.
Well, hey, they were updating things.
Here's the thing. Who would be if you lost, money because your phone was out? Is $5 going to fix it? I know that when it's time to pay your bill, you complain about it being expensive. Right. But when they turn around and have to reimburse you, it's really cheap.
I mean, $5 is $5, right?
Well, people don't think about, okay, if I take my
fooled me, though.
The rate that I pay for, say, my cell phone or my cable.
But he's been cool all morning.
And I divide that by 30 days. It comes out to like $5 a day.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's just a news story that we were given this morning. It wasn't like I didn't really want to get into it.
But can you see them? I've worked at the cable, internet, and cell phone business, and I have been cussed out. Cussed out like a dog because somebody's bill went up $5.
Well, I tell you what, I understand. Everybody wants to save money, this, that, and the other.
For them to pay you $5 is just a little bit of money, but you don't think about that when the bill goes up $5. Well, that's just a little bit of money. Don't even waste your time calling to argue about $5. You can't even get a Happy Meal anymore for $5.
Well, I tell you, now let's go from the Happy Meal at 15 minutes past the hour, 68 degrees, cloudy skies in the metro Atlanta area. Jack's with us, Truth Time's with us, everybody's with us this morning. We're going to go into something that's strange and unusual. I appreciate it, Gail. That's okay. It's all good, guys. It's all good. I knew what I was reading. If I had not I see words on there all the time that I know I can't put on the air. All right, let's talk about something that's going on. We're going to get into the strange and the unknown this morning. And yeah, no, we're not talking about, and we're going to get a little weird with you. No, not that kind of weird. Dirty little mind, dirty little mind. No, not that kind of weird. We're going to get weird with you with the strange and the unknown. And this first story is coming from New York City, because let me tell you a little bit more. We're going to read the whole story before we talk about it. New York City subway system it's typically got some very unusual situations that happen. We've got some listeners in New York. I don't think they're on this morning, but they would probably tell us the truth. The grisly and undisturbing discovery left a local authorities scratching their heads. New York City subway system has seen more than its typical share of incidents in the last recent weeks. This includes a case of a man who was struck on the head by a metal water bottle, discovery of a body, a full body on one of the subway cars, and a fatal shooting in the Bronx subway stop. Now, according to reports, a worker who was there cleaning away the snow discovered a disembodied human leg in the subway track bed between 167th and 170th Street in Bronx. I guess up there where the mob is.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, I don't blame the mob because they're all cool. The city's medical examiner has since taken possession of the leg, like it's a possession of I'm taking possession of that leg. Now it's my leg to look at. I got 3 legs. Well, 4 legs if I'm a man. Anyway, the city's medical examiner has taken the possession of the leg in an attempt to learn more about its owner. Upon arrival, officers observed a human leg laying along the road bed. The leg was removed and the investigation was upgoing. Here's the update. Reports have since indicated that the leg will likely belong to someone who was hit by a train many days before and many miles away from the limb where it was actually found. There are early indications that the victim may have ended up on the tracks at the Spring Street station in Lower Manhattan, either accidentally falling on the platform or jumping there on purpose.
So they have the rest of the body or no?
No, they don't have the rest of the body.
How did they come to that conclusion if they have to investigate whose leg it is? Why would they just think that?
No, they said that it was the way likely. I guess they might have found additional body parts there, but I guess you look, if you get run over by a subway train, you're probably not going to have your body's not going to be everywhere, especially if there's so many running through there every day and everything. The leg was, was one part that was severed and off. So good breakfast.
If it was due to a homicide, I can see why they would go ahead and put something in the story about how they're speculating that, we think that it's just a leg that came from upstream, somebody committed suicide, So if I murdered somebody and chopped them up and dispersed their body out, one leg went to New York, an arm went to Atlanta, and another leg went to Chicago and stuff like that, then I'd be thinking, oh, yeah, I got away with it.
Could be. I mean, I'm not going to dive into that too much. I mean, that's true crime thoughts, and we watch a lot of true crime, so I can see that.
Well, like I said, we have missing people. If they can determine how long the person's been, based on the leg and how much it has. And here's where the University of Tennessee comes in, because they study the decomposition of dead bodies. An expert from the University of Tennessee could tell you exactly how long that person's been dead based on the decomposition of the leg. However, if it was in the snow, then the ice would have had, counteracted the decomposition process.
Right, that was the leg. So just think that leg's got to go to a funeral.
DNA and then possibly run it through the database
I tell you,
It'll be real interesting to see how this plays out.
It will.
If they even come back and say anything at all about it.
This may be the only thing. They just said it could be that and that, and they're probably going to leave it at that. With so many homicides in New York City, there's probably so much. Well, let's talk about the world of bizarre. Let's jump into that. I'm going to get you guys hungry this morning. If you're not hungry yet by a leg found in a subway, you're really going to get hungry now. Oh, yeah. Breakfast time, you guys going to want yourself one of those chicken biscuits or something, because we're about to talk about chicken. And bizarre experiment sees a man eat raw chicken for 25 days straight. Oh, yeah. The stunt went viral and has been slammed by health professionals. But why hasn't the raw meat made him ill yet? Let's just call him John. That's all we're going to say his name is. An influencer from Florida has gained notoriety by eating chicken for 25 days every day. He used a blender to grind up the uncooked chicken, which was wings and breast, with flavoring, raw eggs, lettuce, before drinking the chicken smoothie. Raw chicken and eggs have a significant opportunity and a risk to infect you with bacteria, such as, some of the bacteria that we talk about all the time. And you can have food poisoning, symptoms of food poisoning include fever, vomiting, diarrhea, blood infections, nausea, and even people in the health professional are saying this was not a good idea. John said he has contacted doctors about the safety aspect of the raw chicken diet, which made one wonder if he really did or who was giving him the advice. Even if not, John, like all humans, are going to be protective measures against food poisoning. The stomach has some highly acid fluids in there that can do that, but food poisoning comes at different times. So eating raw chicken, this is a guy just to get clicks on his Facebook, everybody, and YouTube page. I'm eating leftover chicken legs right now, but they're probably cooked truth time. So what do you think about raw chicken? Ugh.
Actually, I'd rather have my chicken fried.
Do what? Yeah, me too. Fried.
This little place that we like to eat chicken in Noonan.
Wishbone fried chicken.
Yeah, wishbone fried chicken.
One of our great sponsors here.
I'd rather have my chicken from Wishbone.
Well, anyway.
I even like Wishbone fried chicken better than KFC.
Amen. You hear that, Beth? You got it. But anyway, I tell you, to me, we go from the different world of bizarres. This guy just did it just to get likes. And what if he gets sick or it really does damage to him, just so he could get people to view him on his YouTube page because he don't know how to build from the ground up. I want to get it right now. I want to be superstar right now. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I want to talk about an unusual situation. Guys, we're 26 minutes past the hour. I want to get into this here this morning. A 5-mile stretch across a rugged woodland area near an area in Massachusetts has been labeled as one of the most mysterious places for sightings and more, dating back to 200 years, I should say. The area is nicknamed Monsterland. They say that you can see everything from, the locals believe everything from Bigfoots to UFO encounters to seeing their grandmothers bringing them apple pie. Well, these events have made this little town called Leo Misters, I should say, one of the most visited places in the country, but it's not on one of the most terrifying places on the YouTube when you watch those most terrifying places in the United States. It's just one of the most visited tourist attractions out there. Oh my goodness, guys. I don't know what. They said that there are stories reaching back 200 years. Recent stories said that one man said he saw a big hairy creature in the woods, but he didn't tell that he was out there making moonshine. So,
Yeah, really.
how am I here making
That
moonshine?
sounds like a job for Scooby-Doo and his
Ready?
amazing friends.
Are you ready? I would have got away with this. I'd have got away making moonshine in the woods if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that dog right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna take a break. You know what that means. It's time to take a break, come back. We got a few more things to talk about here on the network. Still to come in the final period. Brenda Ganske joins us. She's gonna talk about her visit to Las Vegas and visiting a guy from the Ghost Hunters place and some other things since it is February. So stay with us. We'll have more coming up in Horrifying History 101 in the final period, where Brenda Ganske stains the history books with the blood of the unknown. Back in a moment. Maybe it might be the blood of chicken breast that's not cooked. No, don't say it's true, says Pete.
Hey, Ryan, how about when people come on, just say their first name instead of the whole name?
No, I knew what it was. I wanted to say it.
No, you would not say doo-doo. I know you're not going to say that. This is coming from, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from a man that did not want me to say ho on the radio.
Well, it's not allowed to be said on the radio. That's the same thing as saying the B word.
You can say the B word on the radio. There's some cuss words you can say on the radio.
Yeah, hell and damn.
Cussing is overrated.
No, you can't say it. It's illegal to say it. You can get charged $1,500 a word. I'm telling you. And people that use those words on the radio are lack of intelligence. They can't come up with something else to say. They got to say that word to make somebody happy.
You know what I hear right now in the background?
What?
Twins screaming. Granny, come get me.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but you'll get fined for it. That's right, Truth Time. The twins are up. No, they just have to go back to sleep.
The tornado twins are up.
Tornado twins are awake. Hey, Pete and everybody.
Clean house, and in 5 minutes they're gonna destroy it.
No. I wouldn't believe them perfect little beings. Perfect little beings would never do that.
They need their breakfast.
Well, they're hungry.
They need their sausage and pancakes, and waffles or whatever.
Sausage, pancakes, waffles. That all sounds good. I'm hungry now. At least they're not eating.
Disney and Disney Plus. They need that.
Well, at least they're not eating raw chicken.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye.
Okay.
At this point, and y'all have a good day and have a good show. Okay.
All right.
Be careful. Be careful. Reading people's names off the internet.
All right. I'll do that.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too.
All right. No wife, the bride. Yes, my bride. I knew that was his name. I saw it on there. It said me off. And I said, I know what I'm going to say. I said, I'm going to say this and see if anybody notices. You. What's up? What's up? We're getting ready to go on. Jack, did you come off after I said your name? Did you come off, Jack? Jack came off after 45's a fair. All right, folks, welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary. Good morning from Gail to the Zoo Crew, from the Zoo Crew to Sue, Sweetleaf, Bob, Randy and gang, Alice, Mike, and everybody up in Canada. We appreciate everybody tuning in. She said good morning, everybody on here, Pete and Truth Time and everything. And I think Jack came off after we called him out by name. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get back into some of the strange and unknown, I want to drop in a couple of Dirty Bird news for you right quick. NFL insiders are saying that the Falcons are having an intense conversation with quarterback Justin Fields. He could be the quarterback that they're bringing to this year's 2024-2025 lineup, because we need a quarterback at that position. We've got a great coach with our brand new coach Morris, so we're hoping to have a great quarterback and a great season. I told you yesterday that I was going to give you more details on the bye, Jack. Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young has got at least 4 weeks out because he's got a finger surgery that he's got. The Hawks have lost the all-star guard for at least 4 weeks. He got an injury this past weekend on Friday night, and they knew on Sunday they started talking about, well, we're going to have to send him to New York to get that hand fixed. Next game up for the Hawks, 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night on the road against the Nets. Also, spring training game had the Pittsburgh Pirates beat our Braves 13-4. Ugh. The Braves and the Phillies today, 1:05 p.m. You can check that out on Braves Country Radio. Also, ladies and gentlemen, AEW Dynamite tonight. Atlantis Jr. takes on Chris Jericho. Chris Statlander will take on Sky Blue. Eddie Kingston and FTR take on BBC's John Moxley. Bryan Danielson and Claudio. Hangman Adam Page speaks. Will Ospreay debuts in his All Elite. And Sting's final Dynamite appearance. Oh! The Stinger. We told you yesterday about Ole Anderson passing away. Now the Stinger's final appearance. They want Luger there. He wants people who were part of his past to be there. Kevin Nash said, no, man, I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm a WWE guy. I'm not on a contract, but I'm a WWE guy. And I'm best friends with, basically Paul, Triple H. So Sting's final match in AEW is coming up next month at Revolution's AEW Revolution. It's a tag team match for the tag team belts. I guess he's going to lose. I don't know. He should go out on top. He went out on bottom in the WWE. He went out on top in TNA. I think his final match should really be with Billy Corgan's NWA wrestling. But Sting should go out on top. But, hey, look, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Why is Sting leaving? Sting is retired from wrestling. So, he's getting old. He's up in his 60s. And he's still trying to be the Stinger flying off of things. I'm from Baltimore. We have Lamar. Oh, yeah. Chicago has given Justin the same kind of weapons, and he's not performing time to let him go. There you go. Well, we hope if he comes here, he's an originally Georgia guy, so we're hoping that if he comes back to Atlanta, he does better. They're talking about a few people that could be on there. I really want them to release from LA out there the guy that was, with Georgia for the last 20 years as their quarterback. He can come back to Atlanta and play. Stetson Bennett. He's loved in Georgia. He should come back and be the quarterback in Atlanta. I mean, come on. He's loved in Georgia. So, probably more loved than actually the original Dirty Birds. He's more loved than Michael Vick. Oh, no, I'm not going to get into Michael Vick's dog training things he did back in the day. But anyway, so yeah, Sting is leaving. He's retiring for you there, Gail. So I'm not, I'm probably pretty excited about him being able to do that. But I think he should have a final match somewhere else. So that's just some of the sports news for you this morning, ladies and germs. Just some of the sports. They got all the news out of the way you can use this morning. So Baltimore's looking good. That would bring morality to Atlanta. Yep, it would. You got to bring people in that people like, and Stetson Bennett, when he can be better, he can be more successful at the quarterback position with the Atlanta Falcons and work within this system, because Coach Morris worked within the system several years before he went to Los Angeles. So I'd like to see some of these players come back from Georgia, because they play harder. And I know with Justin Fields, he didn't do well in Chicago, but he's from Georgia, for some reason, hey, it's my own backyard, I'm gonna play harder. It's just the way it is. I think a lot of people do. Stetson has so much potential. He does. And he's loved in Georgia. I mean, if he was in the quarterback position for the Atlanta Falcons, my God, the merchandise sells. And you surround him with the best team, the best defense, best offense. Man, I pick on him for being in Georgia for 8 years or something, I mean, being 25 and finally going to the NFL. But I know that if he came back here, he'd be loved. I like Stetson, says Truth. And Atlanta's going to sign Bill Belichick. No, we turned him down and got Coach Morris as the head coach. But I guess Belichick will find something else to do. My suggestion, I know nobody didn't like this. My suggestion was, and I'm an Auburn guy, just to let you know, Auburn University guy. My suggestion was to bring Coach Saban in, since he was retiring from Alabama, and let him at least build Atlanta up for a couple of years and be the head coach in Atlanta. That would have been my suggestion. Now, Coach Saban said that if he was going to coach anywhere, it would be Alabama, so, in a recent interview. But I think it would have been great to have Coach Saban be the. But we got Coach Morris. He's a fantastic guy. He's a loving guy. He's a caring guy. And he calls media he gets to know the media by name. So, with that being said, come on, man. Coach Morris is a guy that is more about talking to the media than any other coach has been in the past. And you got to love that, sports media. All right, 20 minutes away from the top of the hour. Holding that, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you? 68 degrees. Ooh. Cloudy skies, type of temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall, we don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Michael the Crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. We'll take a break here shortly. In fact, I'm going to take one now. We've got a lot of breaks to get out of the way. I would love to have seen Bill Belichick, but to me, we got Coach Morris. He's doing a great job. We need to bring Stetson Bennett back. We need some local guys that know the Dirty Bird atmosphere. We'll be back in a moment. We still got 20 minutes before our friend Brenda Ganske joins us. Back later.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world?
Yep.
Hi,
Bill Belichick was at the top, but he wanted too much control, and Arthur Blank, the guy that owns the Atlanta Falcons, he don't give control. He listens to his people, but in the final thing, it's like, well, I'm listening to you. It's like, he orders a pizza. And he says, I want a pepperoni pizza. And everybody, well, can we add mushrooms? That's a great suggestion. We're going to get pepperoni. That's Arthur Blank. Any hockey news? Yeah, the River Dragons. I'll tell you after the break. What's up, Horrifying History? Talking soon, yes. Brenda, my computer rebooted and knocked out all of my emails, which I needed them cleaned anyways. I'm glad you resent that to me this morning.
Hello,
I love to see the Ravens Falcons Super Bowl. I love to see a Ravens Falcons Super Bowl too. Truth. Are they in the same division though? If they're in the same division, they probably can't, but it would be a good one. Hockey news: River Dragons, FPHL champions. We talked about it yesterday. They clinched their division. They're going on. Yes, we were talking about that yesterday, Brenda, and they were talking about that on the Rob Peterson show, which is my midday show. Monday or Tuesday this week, I asked, Atlanta may be possibly getting a NHL team, and I sent a list of people that Monday or Tuesday this week we had a lot of people on that were giving us ideas from roadkill to red wolves to different things, names for mascots. So most of you didn't get to play. Give me a name for a mascot. And Pete, they loved yours. And look, Pete, I want to tell you something. The NHL heard about all, and you guys can go ahead and tell me some of these names, because the NHL heard these names because Rod knows some people in the NHL and he told them. So NFC, NFC, AFC, you're right, Truth. Yeah, I'd love to see him play too. But yeah, I hear the Winnipeg Jets could be sold because of lower ticket prices. It's only a rumor. They could be moving. But I had I don't know how many people give me names for Atlanta's new hockey team. And the NHL heard about it. And Pete said Red Wolves, and they like yours too, Pete, really good. So if we do get a team in Atlanta, when it gets talks like that, it gets close to possibly putting one in Atlanta again, we're gonna get more of you. So if we do get a team here in Atlanta, so we can rival up with our friends, the Predators in Nashville, what would be a good name for an Atlanta hockey team? The Atlanta Stingrays. I like that one. Let me write that one down. Welcome back in, RyanORadio Penitentiary, locked in. And those that left, we're coming to get you. Old Red's coming to get you. Horrifying History's Brenda Ganske joins us in the final period. We're gonna be going to Horrifying History 101 this morning. And of course, Brenda's going to be staining the history books with the blood of the unknown and strange. That's coming up in the final period, so stay with us. But also, go River Dragons. Yes, our River Dragons are heading to clinch their opportunities to go to the FPHL finals and championship run there. We got a few more weeks before that happens. Also, the Falcons Ravens would be a good Super Bowl. Let's hope that comes pretty soon one day, if they're both playing fantastic at the same time. All right. This past Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. I think it was Monday. I had a whole list of people giving me a whole list of names for if there was an opportunity for the NHL to have a team back in Atlanta for not once, not twice, for the third time. We had people, Pete said Atlanta Red Wolves, which some people in the NHL heard about this list because I sent them over to Rob Peterson, who does our midday show, who's Atlanta's NHL show. And he read them on air, and they talked about it. And then, of course, fans in Winnipeg were like, hey, look, we're hearing they may be selling this team. No, better not, because of low ticket prices. It's expensive to go to the games, of course. I understand that. With the way inflation is not only hitting America. We think only America's getting hit inflated here in America. That's some of our mindsets. We only got inflation here in America inflated. But it's everywhere. But billionaires, like Rod said, billionaires are not billionaires because of anything. Because they don't have money because they throw it away. We're hoping that doesn't happen in Winnipeg, but we're hoping that Atlanta could drop in one. Gail suggests the Atlanta Stingrays. I like that one too. I like that. That's pretty cool. That's like, I'm going to send that one to Rod today, too. I'm going to let him know. The Atlanta Tornadoes, says Pete again. They liked your other one. They might like that one, brother. The NHL actually liked your one. They said some of the suggestions were funny and everything. But they said they liked your suggestion as well. So, yeah, it was Monday because Coach Tommy Lewis played with us because he told everybody. Yeah, so. Co-worker said Atlanta Tornadoes. I like that one, yes. That's true, Tab. It really is. Love the Red Wolves. The NHL, members of the NHL thought it was a good idea too. I mean, they're really thinking hard about bringing an NHL team to Atlanta. And I'm gonna let Rod know a couple of more today. So I got a couple more for you when he goes to midday in Atlanta. And he's going to probably really like the Stingrays. I think he'll like the Stingrays because Rod will be like, hey, I like that. And he'll like the Tornadoes too. But he liked the Red Wolves. And then somebody said Wolfpack. And they're talking and let me tell you something. All of Canada is talking about all of Canadian hockey fans that especially watch the Rod Peterson show and listen to it are talking about Atlanta and coming up with some good names too. So I'm hoping that we are picked because we do have the fan base here now. 20 years ago, no. Back when the Thrashers left, yes, we didn't have the fan base, but today we've got the fan base. It's totally different. You can't keep 1968 mindsets in 2024, and that's anything you do. And I know people think, well, 20 years ago, people in Atlanta, it was only 20 years ago, we had the Falcons and we had the Hawks, we had the Braves, and the United just were not even thought of. They were a glimmer in somebody's eyes. And hell, let me be honest with you. It was only the Braves we cared about. Okay, let's just be honest. 20 years ago, it was only the Braves. And even longer than that, it was only the Braves. Now, we are looking at the Falcons. Now, we are looking at the Hawks, We want them to win. It's on the radar. The Atlanta United is on the radar. You got sports fans out here. You go and talk to them. You would think they would be soccer fans, but they are soccer fans, or in other countries, as you like to call them, of course, football. So I think hockey would do great here. And I would love the Atlanta Stingrays is hitting me pretty heavily too. I like that idea. And what they say is like Moose, who's the co-host of the Rob Peterson show, is you got to think about nights you can have and specialized merchandise and everything. So Red Wolves, Wolf's Pack, all that kind of Wolf Den, the Wolf Den, the Red Wolf Den, things like that. Stingrays, you can come up with all kind of things. The Tornado Alley. So you can come up with all kind of things. Not that the other ones are not great, but all of them were great. But like I said, they thought they were good. I'll be the biggest fan and supporter. Go Red Wolves, go! I know Pete, and we hopefully would have him right here on the station. No, Rod doesn't have any news on that leaving. It's not going to happen. Cher says the polecats and the icebreakers. I'm writing these down, guys, because I'm going to share them again with Rod. I like those too. Icebreakers are just too cool. Polecats, I like that. That the Atlanta Polecats. Yeah. Shares with us from Iowa this morning, where they know all about frozen ice and frozen lakes and hockey. Chicago Blackhawks are not too far. And of course, what's really funny about this whole situation is one of the star players is a young man on the Chicago Blackhawks who is Connor Bernard, who is a pick, and his family is close to Rod Peterson's family. Good friends. How connected we are. And maybe we'll even have the Eskimos. I'm sorry. If they go back to being the Eskimos up there, maybe they'll drop in here on the network. because I'm hearing there's some new ownership going there too in the CFL. So I don't want you guys to lose Winnipeg up there, but the Jets. But I do want Atlanta to get something, and everybody's coming up with some great names. I'm going to send them out there, guys. You guys come up with some great names. It is definitely something cool. We're going to take another break. Get ready to close out this edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. Stay tuned. We go inside Horrifying History 101 coming up at the top of the hour with our friend Brenda Ganske. So get ready for that from Horrifying History's famed podcast on the network next. Stay with us. And we got Truth Time on with us from Baltimore. I got family in Baltimore, by the way, Truth Time. My uncle lives there. So love it. Love that area. Back in a moment. I love that we got these worldwide audience. You guys are making me feel good this morning. Like, share, and subscribe. Get us out there to where everybody wants us. Coffee and donuts for everyone. It's only 2 degrees, had 70 on Monday. Crazy. Good Lord. Iowa weather is like Georgia weather. But that's days away. You're like, it's 70 on Monday and Wednesday it's 2 degrees. In Georgia, it's opposite. It's 2 degrees in the morning and 70 by the afternoon. Good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm a little tired, but other than that, I'm good.
Good. Yeah, we got a midday show that talks about hockey. They're, like I told you, Rod's originally from Canada, and they're on Game Plus television too up there. And they were talking about this. I took a poll the other day because there's a possibility of us getting a hockey team again for the 3rd time in Atlanta. And I had a whole lot of people give us suggestions. And I gave them the Rod. And then the next day, which was yesterday, Tuesday, they talked about the possibility he could sell the team or move it or something because of low ticket prices.
This is not going to be a popular opinion
Nope.
of my fellow Canadians.
Nope.
But I would much rather lose the Jets, Atlanta, and have them to support as a team they needed to go further than for us to keep them.
Well, yeah. And like Rod said, he said, well, I'm not saying that the Jets are going to be the team to fold and go to Atlanta. And so I'm just saying that, there is other opportunities. There's Houston. They're looking at Houston. They're looking at Atlanta. But if they did fold, I would love for them to come here. And I don't want the Jets fans in Winnipeg to lose them. But, heck, we'll just keep the name the Atlanta Jets. Just to, that's what we'll do.
Another 10 years, we'll get them back anyway, or 20 years.
Exactly.
So put that name on ice.
Yeah, keep that name on ice. You'll get them back. I mean,
back and forth.
He said that the guy was that people with money don't like to spend money. He said, so they're losing money. So that's the biggest thing that's going on with them right now. So, but I can understand that when ticket prices are high and food is high and everything, people don't want to go to it. But I mean,
it's a luxury.
Yeah. But you got local hockey teams there, minor league hockey teams, like we got the River Dragons. They got great prices. They give you, like here, the River Dragons, if you go to see a game, some games are like, you get a $40 deal, which you'll get tickets, food, everything included. 4 for 40, I should say, 4 for 40. So two couples can go see hockey together. So,
I used to go see Junior A all the time,
Yeah.
and the reason wasn't for me. The ticket prices are less, which they are remarkably less.
Yeah, they are.
It was the fact that these guys are hungrier.
Yeah,
So you have a better game. It's more aggressive.
exactly. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, and I just think that Atlanta will benefit. We got so many people wanting it, and people are like, well, it's the third time, and look, I know 20 years ago, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. College sports is always king here, football, but 20 years ago, all people cared about was the Braves, and we had the Falcons and the Hawks here the whole time. 40 years ago, all the people cared about was the Braves. But in 2024, you got people that they want sports every season, so they're Falcons, they're Braves, they're Hawks, and they're Atlanta United soccer team fans. So if we brought a hockey team in, man, it'd get supported. Plus, we'd be the
They just put out in the press here this last week that lacrosse is coming back to Ottawa. Where
Oh yeah, we got.
And have you ever been to a lacrosse game?
Yeah, we got a lacrosse team here, the Georgia
That's
Swarm.
the most violent stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, that puts hockey to shame.
It does.
This stick is a weapon. It isn't to go make a goal.
Well, at least in hockey, you're protected. You got all this gear on and everything. In that type of lacrosse, all you got is a mask to protect you and something that looks like a catcher's thing on you. That's about it. Other than that, if you're running around in a t-shirt with a mask on, hey, you're gonna get hurt.
The first game I went to, because I had no idea what lacrosse was like, it was in Toronto, and I showed up and I was just in shock.
Salty butter grits.
They do a play, and then right in the middle of it, they play like 80s, 90s rock, so loud it's like a concert. That already is pretty cool. But then I remember there's this guy, runs after another one, the guy goes down, he's now in a fetal position, and the other guy is literally hitting him in the back of the head with his stick. And you know what the call was?
What?
Interference. And I'm like, that's like attempted murder. What are you talking about? I kind of like this game.
Well, that's why it's so popular in Georgia. So, you know.
I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, that's not interference. Jeez, it's assault on a minimum. 5 years in prison.
To me, if we get hockey, man, we're gonna have all the major sports in Atlanta, and I'm so excited. I mean, I don't want to take. I'm not saying we're taking Winnipeg because I don't think we are. They were already talking about adding at least one or maybe two more teams in the NHL, and heck, and I like in CFL, I'd like to get like a CFL football team up there in Michigan or New York or something to add another team to the CFL football. So, yeah, man, I tell you, I'm excited about this. I'm excited that all our listeners want to get involved. I had like 10 or 15 people Monday give me ideas for 15 different names.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just in like a short, small segment. I was like, tell me, and I did. I got some this morning. So that lets me know that people want hockey, and people from other states want hockey here. Maybe not from Canada. They may be mad if we get it.
Yeah, you know what? There will absolutely be some people upset. I'll put it that way. But the reality of it is, like I said, I'm not going to be the popular opinion. I would rather them go to a place where they have everything. It's almost like Wexham. Ryan Reynolds and Wexham.
Yes.
I would love any team to have the Wexham effect.
Yes.
So I would rather give up the Jets, which would suck, for them to get that type of support and be able to be champions. And look what it did to Wexham. Like, you watch the on Disney the series about it.
Yeah.
It was amazing how defeated these guys were. And all they did was throw a bit of money, but a lot of support behind the team. And now, look how great they're doing.
Yeah.
I would love that for the Jets. Not that they're doing totally crappy or anything.
No.
But they're not winning anything.
Well, you're right. And hardcore hockey fans, I hear them all the time on Rod's show every day, and their responses and stuff, and responding and Rod talking about it. It's like, well, you know, I mean, there's people who love it. There's people who are mad about it. There's people like, oh, no, they're not going to get rid of us. No. You know, but hey.
Well, it boils down to everybody doesn't like to have any change, but change has to happen to make things successful.
Exactly.
For example, WWE. A lot of people were kind of tearing on The Rock to coming in the way he did and coming in and, you know, being on the board. When I heard that, though, I'm like, that is amazing. Rock brings with him such a huge fan base alone that isn't even in wrestling anymore, but also his charismatic, his acting skills were created and right into WWE. His character was made there. I think it's a great thing that he came in, and it's going to make them very much more into a new audience that they never seen.
See, that's the thing about Canada. You guys will cheer Bret Hart when the rest of us hated him. You guys are going to cheer you guys are going to cheer The Rock when Cody Rhodes is the man everybody wants to win.
The Rock.
I'm not
the biggest fan of Cody Rhodes, and there's one reason, and I apologize if he listens to your show. It's just the tone of your hair. If he just used like a blue tone shampoo once a week, it wouldn't look so brassy. That's just me. Other than that, I think he's awesome.
Oh, he's not gonna care, but I wouldn't want to mess with Brandy because she's got a place and got her own business up there in Gwinnett. So, Brandy, if you're watching, I didn't say that. She did.
A little toner. That's it.
Brandy, I think everything looks great, Brandy. I'm a fan of all of it.
But I also see the fans why they're upset. Because I've been a wrestling fan for basically since birth. So I grew up in the Calgary Dungeon era. I watched that every Saturday with my dad. So I get why the fans are upset. The build-up that went behind Rose, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like a jump the shark moment.
Well, he's going to get the title. He's going to get the title shot. He's going to get the title shot. It's all coming up. They just turned The Rock heel, which is, to me, the best thing to do because that's what you need to do. You need to bring these famous people like The Rock back, turn them heel. Because look what it did for Hulk Hogan when he turned heel. When he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the WCW, it reinvented Hulk Hogan. So I think the Hollywood Rock would reinvent it.
It created a whole era, like the NWA era. Right?
Yeah.
And so, absolutely. And putting Rock as a darker character, I love it because that's how he started. He went in as a heel.
Yep.
And that's where we got all the eyebrow race and everything like that, the jabronis. That's where we got that. And I love that they're embracing that again. Love it.
All right, we're getting ready to go on here in a minute. We're going to get ready to talk about our horrifying history. I want to talk a little bit about
we could do a day that's wrestling horrifying history. We could.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about, I want to talk a little bit about your vacation. And then we'll go into the Black Widows in history for the month of love. Which I'm glad it's different because last week I had our friend on from the Book of the Dead podcast, and you know what we talked about? We talked about this 1940s murders of the loving couple in the 1940s that killed everybody were stud where they pretend to be brother and sister, and
And she went all crazy and killed all the girlfriends.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, the Lonely Hearts Club killers. We talked about that last week, and I was like, all right. And I was thinking this morning,
all about the love.
All about the love. That's what we're doing. All right, we're getting ready. It is the final period of play on the final Wednesday of the month, which would usually be the final day, but no, we got one more day. One more day. Let's get ready to kick it off, guys. Let's do a little bit of Love Fest this morning. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary, the one, the only host with the most, the one, the only Ryan Neal, and of course, yes, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on that shoutcast. Shout it out loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock Radio, Arizona, New Mexico, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, and finally, the Jordan Communication and Family Radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here in Atlanta's very own 99.1 FM, WQEE, the key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and the RyanORadio Penitentiary headline news and everything. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everybody tuning in. We'll appreciate all of you. Like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube pages. It's just now growing, and we appreciate that. We're going to go inside Horrifying History 101 with Professor Ganske in a moment, so get ready to get your pens and papers and your cheat sheets ready. But first, to my haters, I got this to say to you. That's right, I am the man around here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this morning. She is the creator, the host, and of Horrifying History podcast, where she stains the history books with the blood of the unknown, the strange, the paranormal, the scary, and the truth. Please welcome Brenda Ganske this morning. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing good on this weird Wednesday, which is weird because usually it's the last day of the month, but we got a leap year, so we got some leap year leprechauns tomorrow morning and everything. So.
Actually, my aunt is born on a leap year. It was actually a really hard, difficult thing for her to get married.
Really?
Yes. She said basically anytime she had to do anything business-wise or marriage or change anything, she goes, it's just a nightmare.
Oh, I know, right? Good
But
Lord.
technically, if you think about it, you only have a birthday every 4 years.
Yeah.
So you're technically like only a quarter of your age. So I think that's wonderful.
Oh, just think if we really were. Just think if we really were. Think about it. If we really, yeah, that would be so cool. We were talking about that last week too. So just think. I would love to be leap year baby every year. So I'd be in my teens or something right now. I still act like I'm a teenager, but still. Watching all this wrestling and listening to all this hard rock and heavy metal music. Come on. Anyway, Brenda. Now, listeners out there, it's Horrifying History 101. The professor's in with us this morning. Hope you got your cheat sheets ready because I'm going to ask you a question. Where did Brenda go on vacation? So let me know before we ask her. I might get into that at the end. We might just do that at the end of this segment, Brenda. Get into your stories first because I want to see if we get any responses. Where did Brenda go on vacation this last month? It was kind of a scary place, but also kind of a freaky place, and you could lose a lot.
Yeah, a little loud.
Little loud. You could lose a lot. Good morning, BK on the air. We appreciate you being with us. Where did she go? You can lose your shirt there is all I'm going to say, and many people have.
True.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about your trip and your vacation. If anybody guesses it in the feed before we get done with our segment with Brenda, then congratulations to you. And I don't know what else. I don't know what I'll send. Send you an autographed picture of me or something. I don't know. So, get an autographed picture to sit there and go and use as a dartboard for most of you guys. Whatever. All right, Brenda. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're gonna talk about that at the end because I want to get into it because it was pretty cool where you went. But it is the month of love as always. Last week we had a guest on and we spoke about the Lonely Hearts Killers, and now we're gonna talk about famous black widows in the history for the month of love. This is perfect. The perfect women that most men could get, most every man could get, but not survive this, relationship. And a lot of men feel like they can't survive their relationships right now. So what do you tell them about these ladies we're about to talk? These ladies we're about to talk about, most of them are ladies. So.
Well, as the February is month of love, I thought I was going to tell you all a story that is about love today. Or should I actually say love gone wrong?
Ooh.
Oh, actually, that doesn't work here either. So I don't think there's actually any words that can describe the Black Widow that we're about to talk about. And her name was Belle Gunness. Have you ever heard of Belle Gunness?
No, I think it's the first time I'm hearing this story.
Well, buckle up because it's a good
Oh, I'm ready.
So Belle Gunness was born in Norway on November 11th, 1859, under the name, now, if I butcher this, I apologize, but you'll see why in a second, Brunhild Paulsdated Soren.
Oh,
Take
right.
out some crackers and drink some water. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, very little is actually known about her early years, but what we do know is she was the youngest of 8 children,
Right.
and her and her siblings were raised on a small farm. It was said that she had an extremely normal life until she was about 18. In one very well-known but not verified story, Belle was actually pregnant at this time. So she went to a local dance, and one night, while she was there, she was had an attack by a local man. He was from a wealthy family, and he allegedly kicked her in the abdomen, which caused her to miscarry. But due to his social standing, he was never charged by authorities. So the local legend tells us that after this event, Belle's personality drastically changed. And you're about to see in a second how drastic that was.
Ooh.
So Belle, she spent the first couple years after that incident working as a servant on a farm for wealthy locals before she decided to immigrate to America in 1881. When she arrived, she changed her name to the easier to pronounce Belle, and she made her way to Chicago. She found a job as a servant, and she worked in that position until she met a man named Mads Sorensen. So in 1884, the couple got married, and 2 years after this, they decided to open up a candy store. But the problem was, that store, well, it wasn't doing very well, and the couple now had a lot of debt. But not long afterwards, this store burned to the ground, and so did their home, but luckily for them, Belle had purchased insurance for both the house and the business. So Belle and Mads were able to collect insurance payouts for both of these, and then they bought a new home for them and their children, who were Carolyn, Axel, Myrtle, and Lucy. But Ryan, the bad luck kept happening. Carolyn and Axel passed away, and they were diagnosed with suffering from acute colitis. Now, this is inflammation of the colon, and it can occur for various reasons, including but not limited to viral, parasitic, or bacterial infection, inflammatory bowel disease, or from taking antibiotics. But the thing is here, the symptoms of this are the same symptoms you would have if you were poisoned.
Ooh.
Keep that in mind.
Okay.
So, just like the house and businesses, Belle had taken out further insurance policies for these deceased children. Now, even though we're very early on in this story, Ryan, Belle and Mads' neighbors were all thinking this was pretty weird. Why do you think?
Well, they're probably thinking like, what happened to these kids dying so young?
No.
What?
It's because allegedly Belle had 4 kids, but she didn't look like she was pregnant at all.
Really? Oh, so she hit it well.
Apparently.
Well, all right, Belle.
So, going to the June 13th, 1900 census, Belle actually appeared as living in Chicago as the mother of 4 children, with 2 being alive. But things changed. On that census, in addition to this, she was now listed to be a mother of a 10-year-old foster child named Morgan Couch, who would later be known as Jenny Olson. But then the bad luck hit again. A little over a month later, Belle's husband died. Now, apparently, he had purchased 2 life insurance policies on himself. On July 30th, 1900, both of these policies were active, which was the only day that both of these policies were active. The new one actually came into effect at the beginning of the day, and the old one would expire at the end of the day. And apparently, this is the day that Mads would die. So, Ryan, do you think this is a coincidence?
Oh, yeah, perfect. I think it's just a coincidence. I don't think anything else.
Well, according to Belle, what happened was Mads came home with a bad headache, so she gave him some quinine powder and told him to lay down for a bit. When Belle went back to check on him, he was dead. So when a doctor assessed his deceased body, the doctor's original thought was that Mads actually died from strychnine poisoning. But after he spoke to Mads' family doctor, he changed his mind. Now, the family doctor told him that he likely died from heart failure without even looking at the guy. And the assessing doctor, as soon as he heard this, he just ran with it. So no autopsy was completed.
Wow.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt's family thought something was off here. So right after her husband's death, Belle received a great payout because both of those insurance policies were in place for that single day. And she bought a pig farm on the outskirts of LaPorte, Indiana. So right after Belle moved to the farm, boat and a carriage house on the pig farm burned to the ground. And as you probably are thinking, Ryan, she had insurance on both of them and got insurance payout.
Oh, yes. Not strange at all, I don't think, though.
No, this is not suspicious at all.
No, not at all.
So,
No.
as Belle was getting ready to move from Chicago to LaPorte, she met a guy who was a recent widower, and his name was Peter Gunnis. Now, Peter was a butcher, and the two were married April 1st, 1902, before they moved to Belle's farm together. But just 1 week after they were married, Peter's infant daughter from his first marriage passed away. She died while she was in Belle's care, but it was never determined why she passed away. But then tragedy struck again 8 months later. Now, according to Belle, Peter was in the kitchen when he reached up to get something on a high shelf. Suddenly, a meat grinding machine fell off that shelf and hit him in the head, cracking his skull. Now, Peter died soon afterwards, but this time things were different. When the coroner looked at Peter's body, he allegedly said, and I quote, "This is a case of murder." So, Ryan, with the information you have so far, do you think he was right?
It sounds kind of fishy, like one of my listeners said. Sheriff says sounds fishy to her. So it sounds kind of fishy, but I still have to give the benefit of the doubt. You just have to do that.
Well, we're going to test that theory in a minute. So, thinking something was really off here, the coroner convened a coroner's jury. At this time, one of Peter's own children who lived in the home told their classmates that Belle hit Peter over the head with a cleaver. But nothing ever came of this coroner jury, Ryan, and no charges were filed.
Wow. It was an
They
accident.
have not been a meat cutter at all. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I mean, it was an accident. And in that day and time, women would never do anything that bad. They were always perfect little angels. You know what I mean?
Well, meat cutter,
Yeah.
cleaver, what's the difference?
It's all the same. Just ask a butcher.
Let the locals heard all about this. They add her subsequent payday because, well, she had insurance policies. They started to talk. It didn't make sense to them that Peter be so clumsy. After all, he ran Belle's pig farm, and he was a very experienced butcher.
Right.
So all this talk settled down when it became clear that Belle was now pregnant.
Ooh. So who the
Now,
baby did?
interestingly, before she had 4 children and nobody thought she was pregnant, but now they know and see she's pregnant. 5 months after her husband's passed, Belle gave birth to a son who she named Philip. So after having this new baby in the house, this kept Belle busy for the next couple of years, but that only worsened when Belle started telling her neighbors that she had left hands in her household to help out. Now, according to Belle, her foster daughter, Jenny Olson, moved away to attend a Lutheran college that was located in Los Angeles, but in actuality, Jenny was murdered. Now, her body would later be discovered on Belle's pig farm, but we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves, so I'm just going to put a pin in that. So, when 1905 rolled around, Belle decided it was time to find a new husband. So she started placing personal ads in Chicago newspapers. One of her ads was answered by a man from Wisconsin who was named Henry Gerhold. Now, Henry traveled to LaPorte to see Belle, and soon after he arrived, he wrote to his family. He said that he loved the area and was doing really well there, and then he asked them to send him some seed potatoes before they never heard from him again. The following year, John Moe answered Belle's ad, and they corresponded for months. So he decided to pack his bags and travel to LaPorte to see Belle. He withdrew a large amount of cash from the bank before he went, and then he wasn't seen alive ever again. So in 1907, Belle decided to hire a farmhand to help her out with all these chores. This guy's name was Ray Lamphere, and soon the whole community was talking about how Ray and Belle's relationship was not your normal employer-employee relationship, if you know what I'm saying.
Kind of kinky.
Well, when Ray would drink, which would be often, he would brag about how he was sleeping with Belle.
Yeah.
But Belle apparently didn't see a future with Ray because, once again, she's putting out these newspaper ads looking for a husband. And many men responded, Ryan.
Of course.
She soon was seen in the community socializing regularly with different men. And one of these was a guy named George Anderson from Missouri who told Belle that he would pay off her mortgage if the two decided to get married. So after traveling to the farm to get to know her better, George started to sleep in the guest room. And late at night, he woke up with a start to see Belle right over him. So she was standing over him holding a candle in her hand and staring right into his eyes, which is creepy as hell. But then George said later, it was the look on Belle's face that terrified him. It was so evil and murderous that he screamed in fear. Then she just left his room without saying a word. Terrified that Belle was going to kill him, George threw on his clothes and left without even taking his things with him and without telling her. He is the only suitor of Belle's who ever left that farm alive.
Wow. I mean, he woke up in the middle of the night and saw this woman staring. I mean, yeah, I understand it's creepy, but and stalker-like. But I mean, people do that all the time on the internet. So.
Or at horror movies.
Yeah, well, horror movies. I mean, that's we'll call horror movies. American Horror Story. Yeah,
Well, the next victim, or should I say boyfriend, was Owell Boozabek. Now, he was last seen alive at the Newport Bank in April of 1907. It was there where he mortgaged his Wisconsin property, receiving several $1,000s in cash. Now, all of this was news to Owell's sons, who had no clue that their dad even went to see Belle. So after they found this out, the boys wrote her to ask if she knew what happened to her dad. Belle wrote back to them, and she told them that, well, I've never seen your father at all, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Who?
Who? What guy?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about. So in the next 8 months, several more men appeared and disappeared from Belle's farm. One of these was a guy named Andrew Halligan. Now, he withdrew his life savings and went to see to Belle. He was last seen at the bank in LaPorte with Belle depositing a check, and then he was gone. Now, meanwhile, Belle was having some issues with the farmhand Ray. See, he was actually in love with Belle, and he started to become jealous with all these boyfriend/victims showing up at Belle's doorstep. So when Belle introduced Ray to her newest fiancé, Andrew, Ray completely freaked out, and Belle fired him. But it was only a couple days after this that Andrew disappeared while Belle was at the bank again depositing another check. So shortly after firing Ray, Belle went to the LaPorte County Courthouse to say that he was completely out of his mind and he was a danger to the community. So what she said must have been pretty darn convincing, because what happened after this, a sanity hearing was held, and Ray was determined to be completely sane. So after this happened, a couple days later, Belle then reported Ray to the sheriff, saying that he was harassing her. Now, Ray was then arrested for trespassing, but it didn't stop him from visiting Belle. Next, Belle then went to her lawyer to make a will. She told him that Ray would threaten to kill her and burn down her house. So at this point, I have a question for you, Ryan. If Belle was so terrified that Ray was going to kill her and burn down her house, why did she not go to the police with this? After all, she went to the courthouse to try to convince him that Ray was insane. Then she went to the police to have Ray arrested for trespassing. So why don't you think she went and told them that he threatened her life?
Of course, they were going to believe this innocent woman. I mean, she already reported him once and he got away with it, so it must have been that.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait till you hear some more. I'm really thinking it's not.
Okay.
So, with Ray no longer doing these farm chores, Belle had to hire another handyman for or a worker for the farm.
Right.
And his name was Joe Maxon.
Joe.
So 2 months after he was hired, on April 28th, 1908, Joe woke up smelling smoke in his room, which was on the second floor of Belle's house. So he opened his bedroom door to see a wall of flames. He started screaming for Belle and the kids and got no response. So he had to jump out of the window to save himself. Joe ran to the neighbors in his underwear to go get help. And when they all returned, they found embers, a headless burned body of a woman, and the bodies of 3 children. So the police immediately went to arrest Ray. Now, Ray claimed he was nowhere near the fire or the farm where the fire started, and he knew nothing about this. But that's when the police dropped this piece of information on him.
Okay.
They told him that a local boy saw Ray running down the road from the direction of Belle's house while it was on fire. That was enough for the police. So Ray was charged with the murders of Belle, her 3 children, which was Myrtle, aged 11, Lucy, aged 9, and Philip, aged 5.
Wow.
But here is the point of the story where things start to get a little confusing for investigators.
Okay.
You see, Belle was a bigger woman. She was about 5 feet 9 inches in height and over 200 pounds.
Ooh.
The woman's body in the fire was about 5 foot 3 inches in height and was about 125 pounds. Wow. Now,
I mean, they say that the camera adds 5 pounds, so I guess a fire takes off a lot of pounds.
Well, but you can't take off height.
Right. Well, no, they could have burnt. She could have been burned down a little bit. You know, some of the height could have been burnt down. She could have, you know. There's
Was
ways.
that many inches, Ryan?
I'm trying to help Bill out here. Come on.
Well, it's supposed to get worse / better for Belle. So at this point, the local dentist stepped in and told the police that, oh, I can identify this body if you find any dental work. So in the fire, a piece of bridge work was found, and the dentist was able to confirm that it was done for Belle. So because of this alone, Ryan, the local coroner officially concluded the body in the fire must have been Belle.
Okay.
Clearly, he didn't even think about how the size of the body didn't match Belle's, how a missing head could be purposeful to prevent proper identification of the body, and how absolutely easy it'd be for Belle to take out a dental appliance and just toss it into the fire to have somebody identify it later. But they also didn't think about how already the authorities had found 8 wristwatches, a bunch of miscellaneous human bones, and a whole lot of human teeth at Belle's farm at this point. So one of the family members of one of Belle's victims decided to go to the farm and dig for themselves in her pig pens after he heard all of this. It didn't take him very long to find 4 bodies, and one was his missing brother. So now the police decided to talk to Joe, the farmhand, and he had a very interesting story to tell. So Belle had ordered him to bring wheelbarrow load after wheelbarrow load of soil to an area where the pigs were fed. Now she claimed she wanted this ground leveled since there was many large deep depressions in the ground, so he just did what his employer asked him to do. Now there was this, and with this came reports that several local farmers traveling past Belle's home at night reported seeing Belle digging big holes in her pig pens. Now this in combination made the sheriff act. So he pulled together 12 guys to go with him back to Belle's farm to dig. They first found the body of Jenny Olson, who didn't go to that Lutheran college like Belle said. They then found the bodies of 2 children that are today still unidentified. And as the days passed, they just kept on finding more and more bodies. Many of these were missing men who went to see Belle in hopes of finding true love, but not all of them. One of them was the body of a guy who told his wife he was going to LaPorte to secure an investment from a very wealthy widow. He brought with him $34,000 in today's funds from the other investors on his trip, and after he got to LaPorte, he and the funds went missing. So soon, reports of missing men just start pouring in from a whole bunch of other areas, and relatives of these missing men would go to Belle's farm in hopes to find their remains.
Right.
The police started hearing countless stories of lonely single men answering Belle's ads, being asked to travel to her farm with their life savings and never to be seen again. The exact number of dead couldn't be determined, but all the bodies couldn't be properly identified due to the rudimentary body recovery methods used. But at least 14 of them were identified, which was a good thing. Belle's kill count, though, is estimated to be at least 40. At least 40. Now, experts believe that she actually killed a lot of other people who she ended up allegedly inheriting money and property from, or others connected to the bodies that were found on the farm. Now that you've heard all of this, Ryan, are you surprised to hear that Ray was tried for arson and murder?
No, not really. I'm not surprised. I mean, he may have not done it, which we're kind of feeling, but it points towards him, especially when he was violent and jealous, and she's out there saying, quote, this could happen, you know.
Well, here's how I look at it. Let's put it in today's context, or let's put it in way back when context.
Right.
Okay, so let's look at it in today's context. If this was today, and there was the body just didn't match, that a head was gone, and as well as this dental appliance just randomly was lying there, that would be enough to for people saying, I have some doubt here.
Right.
Of
course.
In times of back then, when you already have when you have a murdered mother with 3 dead children, do you think that possibly that itself just blinded everybody to the rest of what could have happened, like the other options?
Yes, I think so. Different day and time. We've spoke about this before, that, you know, it's unbelievable that a woman could possibly pull anything like this off. And this has been part of the stories we've talked about. And a dead mother, a dead child, we're going to believe, okay, this fire happened at this house, and we don't want to drag her name through the mud, so we're going to believe this story. And, so I believe back then, yeah, today we'd want to question it. But either way, Ray would be in trouble.
Right. And if you look at it in today's times, theoretically, Ray absolutely would be in trouble because he was a stalker. Let's put it out there.
Yeah.
But at least that is what Belle said he was.
Right.
Do we know he actually was?
No, we don't. We don't.
It's just her word.
Right.
Now, also the fact that, it appears that she wasn't exactly the most honest person around, that would go and then they say, okay, that gives me doubt in what she's saying about Ray.
Right,
so
right.
That is in today's times. But it is likely, if they could prove that he was a stalker, that he would be in trouble. But I think in today's times, there's no way in hell would he be arrested and tried for arson and murder. There's no way.
Nope.
But back then, again, they don't have the investigative techniques that we have or testing that we have. They had a lot of biases based on just gender alone.
Exactly.
A woman wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't.
Women are so much, they're so kind and
delicate,
and delightful little flowers.
Yes.
They wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
Whereas we now know that's not true. That's a very strong bias.
No, we watched too many ID.
Absolutely, her gender and the fact that she was a mother with children had so much to do with this. And I think personally that today it wouldn't happen.
Exactly. It's it was a different day in content for that. And but we're gonna get ready to take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish up this story. And ladies and gentlemen, please, I know you guys are responding to this story in here. Tell us where you think Brenda spent a little vacation. You could lose your shirt there. It's hot, got a little desert feel, and sometimes they have some flooding, and you can gamble on We'll Be Back in a minute. So stay tuned for more RyanORadio Penitentiary with Professor Brenda Ganske. That's who it is this morning. Brenda Ganske from Horrifying History with us. We'll continue with the conclusion of this story of Belle, the innocent woman looking for love, in just a few moments. So stay with us after this. She just was looking for love.
Over and over and over again.
Well, she couldn't find the right guy. You know how sometimes women can't find that right man because it's all the man's fault.
Well, the interesting thing is how much money you'll find out in a bit she had in the bank. But every one of these guys that came to her farm has one thing in common. They came with cash. And as she actually put out in her ad in the newspaper, she basically said that she was of well-means. She's looking for somebody who's also of well-means.
Right.
And basically, if you don't prove it, and you must come to the farm to visit me here, or nothing's going to happen. You're going to have no correspondence.
Right.
Yes. It's kind of smart.
Tell me where Brenda went on vacation, guys. Put in the feed there.
But
gambling capital of the world.
She did.
First person do it. I know. Oh man. Well, I can't wait to find out how much money she had in today's money.
Oh, it's
that's right, Gail.
shocking. It's like more than.
That's a good guess, Gail. I'll tell you.
Money. It's more than Donald Trump fine money. We'll put it that way.
It's more money than anybody has out there right now.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah.
Sounds like she was greedy. Yes, Sheriff, she was greedy. All right, let's see here. We got a couple more spots, and we'll come back. Let's get rid of this. And get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, we're getting ready to come back, guys. Demon in her. Yeah, there was a demon in her for sure, Pete. Sounds like she was greedy, says Cher. Yep. Yes, it was.
Demon was in her, or she just had absolutely no soul.
Probably both.
I have no idea, or a combination of both.
Could be a combination of both. I believe it. She was evil. I mean, look,
wait till you find out what she did.
Okay.
Because Ray confesses, by the way.
Well, I can't wait to find out what she did. I just feel like she just couldn't find the right man. She always looking for the right man, and she just couldn't find him. And it's always the man's fault, especially the 200 men she married and killed.
Well, I can't help but wonder one thing. I can't help to wonder if she came from a circumstances of money that she was wealthy. Like maybe she came from the Rockefellers or something.
Could have been.
Would she have done this?
You never know. All right, we're coming back.
Clearly she's independent.
She's an independent woman.
She is.
All right, we're coming back. Here we go. Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary, guys. Well, Gail guessed. Gail, I'll tell you that guess in just a few moments if it's true or not. Pete says there's a demon in her. At least I found the right woman. There you go. Sounds like she's greedy, says Cher. So got a lot of great responses coming up this morning on this story as we talk about Bella. Bella, to me, seems like she just couldn't find the right guy, and she kept running into the wrong man every single time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of feeling like she was an innocent little flower,
A dead flower.
Well, she is a dead flower. We have Brenda Ganske with us this morning from Horrifying History as we continue to talk about Black widows in history for the month of love. And the one we're talking about this morning is a lovely young lady by the name of Bella. And Bella, she was trying to find the right love until the day she supposedly died. So let's talk about her death and the after-death and the aftermath of Ray burning the house down. Allegedly, yes. Allegedly.
So obviously, as I said, he was tried for arson and murder. So as I would do, Ray pled innocent to all charges. Based, it was clear the dead body wasn't Belle.
Right.
But in court, Ray's own lawyer brought up what I brought up. That Belle could have planted her own dental work on scene, and Belle could have, or somebody could have removed the head on that body just to prevent its identification because it wasn't Belle. But none of this mattered to the jury since they found Ray guilty, and he was sentenced to serve between 2 and 21 years in the state prison, which is a very strange range of time, 2 to 21 years.
Wow.
And killing 4 people. But he died in prison a year later from tuberculosis. But before he died, Ray actually reached out to the prison chaplain because he wanted to confess Ryan.
Oh.
Now, according to Ray, Belle wasn't dead at all. In fact, she was out there probably still killing. And he said he didn't murder anybody, but he regularly helped Belle bury her victims. Now, he then started talking about Belle's murder style. He said when her victims would come to the farm, Belle would make the man comfortable, she would try to charm him, and then cook him a large meal to make him make him some coffee to tie this meal all together. But that coffee was drugged. So as soon as the man would drink the coffee, he would fall asleep, and Belle would hit him in the head with a meat cleaver, just like that child who escaped Belle's household alive told her classmates. But she didn't do this every single time. In other times, she would just wait until her suitor would go to bed in the guest room, and when they were asleep, she would chloroform them and kill the victim, which was the same scenario that occurred to George. Now, with her victims dead, Belle, she was a larger woman. She was quite strong from working on the farm. So
Right.
She would just pick that body up, carry it down to the basement to butcher it, and then she would bundle up the remains and bury them in the pig pen, covering them with quicklime. Now, if she was feeling a little tired that day from her murdering, she wouldn't do all that hard work. She would just chop the person up and feed them to the hogs. So, what really happened the day of the fire?
Okay.
Ray confessed there too. He claimed that Belle lured a woman from Chicago, promising to hire her as her housekeeper. She drugged the woman, hit her in the head with a cleaver, and they decapitated the body to prevent people from identifying her. She then tied weights to the head and disposed of it in a local swamp.
Wow.
She then returned back to the farm, dragged the body into the basement where she dressed the corpse in her own clothes, took out her false teeth, and put them beside the body to ensure it would be identified as Belle Gunnan. But she couldn't leave quite yet because she had her children to deal with. So apparently, according to Ray, she chloroformed all her kids before she smothered them and put them in the basement. She laid them by the corpse, who would later be identified as her, and then she set the house on fire. Now, Ray said that the two planned to meet up in a location down the road near her house after the fire set because the two of them were going to run away together with all their grandiose earnings from all the evil they did. He came up, but Belle never showed up. that is why he said he was seen running away from the house. Now, he speculated that Belle must have cut through the field near her house and disappeared to leave him holding this bag. And then came the last piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
What happened to that money?
Yeah.
Well, Ray claimed that Belle was an extremely rich woman. He said by his count that Belle stole from and then murdered 42 men.
Whoa!
He claimed that she accumulated what would be, in today's dollars, over $818 million.
Whoa!
Now, investigators were able to confirm that she was incredibly wealthy and that Belle withdrew all the cash out of the bank right before the fire.
Ah.
In fact, Belle did do this to make her rich and avoid the law. So, if Belle wasn't in the fire, what happened to her?
Yeah.
Over the past several decades, Belle was allegedly seen in various American cities nationwide. And there is one report as late as 1931 that she was said to be alive and well in a Mississippi town, where this tip claimed she was a rich landowner and a prominent citizen, which makes sense with all that money.
Right.
But just in case that unidentified body was Belle, they buried it beside Belle's husband Maz in Forest Park, Illinois. So in hopes to solve this mystery once and for all, in 2007, with permission of Belle's descendants, this body was exhumed by forensic anthropologists in hopes of learning its true identity. So they hope there'd be enough DNA found on an envelope at Belle's farm that she sealed to determine if that headless body was actually her, but sadly, there wasn't enough viable DNA, so the mystery remains unsolved.
Oh, wow. So there you go, guys. Another true love story of disappearance, love, 42 men and one woman. It sounds like a CBS reality show. So maybe we can get it on CBS or ABC next season. 42 men and Bella and 42 men. True love and murder. Yes, there you go. All right. Brenda, Gail guessed that your vacation was in the great city of Las Vegas. And she got it right.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Tell us about
Vegas.
that. Tell us about your experience in Vegas and where you went and what you did right quick before we let you get out of here.
Well, believe it or not, I didn't go to Vegas to gamble because I don't gamble. I never spent actually any money gambling. I did go there to eat. So we went to some Gordon Ramsay's. We went to the Vanderpump restaurants, which were amazing and probably more expensive than if I gambled. But the thing I had to tell you about, Ryan, was Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum.
Yes.
I spent the money and went on the RIP tour.
Ooh, rest in peace.
Yep. And, well, my honest opinion is, sorry, Zach Bagans, it's very much a Zach Bagans experience. It's very carnival-like, for lack of better terms. It's like you're going through a fun house of bad.
Oh, I know. I live there.
And a lot of it, you see the stories, you can tell when they can verify 100%, they just push that story of it's verified. But if they can't prove 100%, they really go down the story goes down the ghosty track, if you know what I'm saying. They emphasize that, which is very Zach Bagans.
No, not from Ghost Adventures.
So I expected that. But the cool thing was seeing some of the artifacts that I've seen there, like things that I've done episodes about or things that we've talked about here. Like, for example, haunted paintings. They had the Crying Boy paintings there, or Jack Kevorkian's murder van, or they had a cauldron there from, they had like things from Ed Gacy. They had things there from Charles Manson. It was really very interesting tour. So if you're into the macabre, I totally recommend it. I don't know if I would take the RIP tour again because it really, to me, wasn't worth the extra money, to be honest with you. But you get a T-shirt, which you actually make that money off of the T-shirt if you don't buy it in the gift shop. Like, that you make up that money. So maybe it is worth it.
There you go. All right. Well, tell everybody how they can follow you. What's up next? What's the next episode on Horrifying History and all that good stuff?
Well, Horrifying History can be found on any major podcast provider, and we release our episodes on Wednesday. So today we're telling the tale about the haunting of Fox Hollow Farm. And this actually, I recorded this episode right before this came out of the news about 2 weeks ago. Fox Hollow Farm was the home to a serial killer who ended his life before he was caught, and it said that the spirits of him and his victims still remain at the home. There actually has been some very recent updates on this, and they actually identified another victim. They confirmed the identity of it. So that was the big thing that came out after I recorded this.
Wow.
So it's a very interesting episode to hear how this guy got away with what he did. Now, for For even more spooky stuff, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook at Horrifying History, Instagram and Threads at Horrifying_history, and X at HorrifyingHist1.
All right, guys, follow her for sure. We're going to let the one, the only Brenda Ganske out on good behavior. Of course, you guys remember, I hope you took notes this morning because we're going to ask you some more stuff next month. Follow her everywhere you can on all social media sites and more. Brenda, you are out on good behavior, so we appreciate you being with us here this morning.
Yay!
All right, back here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll close out the show right after this short break. Stay with us. All right, Brenda, that was good as always.
Okay. Well, you have an awesome day, and I get to go out in the rain now, so that sucks. And
there you go.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk again next month. Talk to you then.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, let me run and open up the door for the dock.
Still waiting for a decision from the U.S. Court of Appeals about the company union Bethlehem refused to give up in defiance of the Wagner Act. As a defense industry, Bethlehem had $1.5 billion worth of armament orders to fill, and yet they wouldn't even pay the legal minimum wage mandated for government contracts. Retired steelworker Mitchell Schaefer recalled in a 1991 interview, "I went to work there in the late 30s, swinging a 20-pound sledgehammer to break iron billets." The 81-year-old continued by saying, "I got 40 cents an hour, 6 days."
All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had to go on like that buffet was 100. Ugh. I ate Marie Callender's when we lived there. It was a good place. And on Thanksgiving, they had all these great pies you could. Actually, they make pies every day.
At 7 gates that stretched 2 miles. They successfully beat back attempts by police.
I'll ask them that when I get back.
Their picket line. After 38 hours, Bethlehem quickly agreed to reinstate.
She's completely innocent. Obviously, she's completely innocent. I know, right? Bella would never, seems like a sweetheart. Like she would never do anything like that, right?
They started organizing elections for collective bargaining representatives through their company.
Man, come on. Thank you, Truth Time, for being on my side.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling somebody's coming up on you. What do you do to be prepared in today's world? Hi, I'm Holly Reese. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the
Here we go.
learn how to defend themselves effectively with technical drills to build their survival skills. You can be your own hero. Classes and
Oh, Lord, what a day. Oh, yeah.
learn today.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
I just yawned. I get it too early.
Hank Arnold here from Coweta Force. Coweta Force.
All right, let's see here. Let's get rid of this.
We exist to provide.
Let's move this around. Let's move that around. That way, yes.
Our services.
Yes, I can do all that.
And all of our information is available on our website at www.homeforce.org. Follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Wonderful time is finally here. The Great Spring Fest with Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. 2 weeks of family fun with over 30 exhibits, rides, and more. Across the Academy Football Stadium in LaGrange, Georgia. Presented by LaGrange College for Communications and Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. LaGrange Spring Fest. Cardinal season is finally here. Fishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday. It's Fishbone Fried Chicken, right next door to the former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Hello everyone, this is DJ Commando of the 45 Radio Show, where I play all vinyl
Oh, really? Welcome back into RyanORadio Penitentiary, ladies and germs, and boys, girls, children of all ages. Yes, yes, yes. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We're a few more minutes left in this hour. Coming up, we got Health, Happiness, and Harmony with Dr. Lewis Boynton at the top of the hour. Follow that up with Calvary Fellowship Church at 11. And then 12 to 2 p.m., it's the Rod Peterson Show. Yes, more Rod Peterson. 12 to 2. NHL, NFL, and CFL's only talk show around the world, around the country. Also around the United States and Canada. 2 to 3 is the Sports Beat with Richard Holdridge. And 3 to 5, Braves Country Radio with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. And he'll be bringing you some Braves baseball on Braves Country Radio from 1 p.m. All right, so it's going up for you. We appreciate it. I know that they're doing some transformation over there, tearing down some stuff in Vegas because the Oakland A's they're building their baseball field there and everything. So getting ready for some sports and everything. So we'll appreciate, once again, Brenda Ganske for being with us this morning. Tropicana is being torn down for the baseball field. Yep. Stadium for Oakland A's, which will be the Las Vegas A's pretty soon. They'll have the Las Vegas A's. They've got the Las Vegas Raiders. They got the Las Vegas Golden Knights. All they need is a NBA basketball team over there. And I hear that LeBron James wants to put one there. So could they move one there? Or could they just do something else? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's a lot going on in there. Changes. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Never mind, I won't get into that. We're talking about Las Vegas because that's where Brenda Ganske went for vacation. Yeah, not too long ago. So you stayed at the Tropicana before it got shut down. When I lived there, I've been to all those places. I never stayed in them. Went into them, did remotes for radio stations, but never stayed there. I had a place to live, had an apartment. Most people that live in Vegas don't like to go to the Strip unless they worked on the Strip. I'm talking about they work in the casinos or the hotels or on the streets, all that kind of stuff. The biggest jobs are working in the casinos, working in the restaurants, working in the hotels, and working the streets. That's the 4 biggest jobs on the Strip. Little Arkansas girl goes over there to make it big, and she works the Strip. All right, well, anyway, we're getting ready to get out of here. Yeah, we are. Tomorrow morning is True Crime Thursday. We'll have our True Crime show. We'll talk True Crime news, movies, court television, stuff that's going on there. We'll talk about the Alec Baldwin situation where he's going to be going to court for the Rust shooting on that set, and New Mexico is bringing charges. The New Mexico State's bringing charges against him. We'll talk about that plus a few other things, and I'm going to tell you some of the true crime documentaries I've been checking out too tomorrow morning. So we got a lot of stuff in store for you on the Thursday edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. But stay the rest of the day, be part of the radio station. There you go. And the doc's supposed to show up here shortly. Let's see. Oh, no. What are you doing? Computer? What are you doing, computer? I think I see him walking the streets. No, don't go. I know. I can't be on all day. Yeah. I wouldn't have a voice then. I can't be on all day. I mean, I appreciate the love, you guys. Ask Sweetleaf. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Let me get back there. Oh, Sue and Sweetleaf in gang. This question's for you. Does this story that we just did beat out Skywalker Ranch Stories? Sweetleaf said, no. It was a good story, but no. Sue says, no, it is a lot of Bigfoot, UFO, and ghost stories there. Bob says, I'm not going nowhere near that ranch. Tim says, I don't believe, but hey, I stay away from all that stuff because these people are scared around here. Of course, Skinwalker. I said Skywalker. Skinwalker's Ranch wins. Yes. Sorry, guys. I said Skywalker. I don't know. I got it confused. Luke Skywalker. You have a great day too, Cher. All right, we're going to get out of here. I guess we're going to get out of here with that being said and done and all that good stuff. You guys treat one another with the utmost respect. Be good to one another. Tomorrow's True Crime Thursday, and we'll get spooky with you too. Be careful out in the storms, everybody. And as people say, I'm going to be careful too because I got a lot of things to do next couple of days. Bye, Gail and the Zoo Crew. Sweet Lee says, bye, Gail and the Zoo Crew. Sue says, goodbye, girl. Alice from Canada says, girl, hello and bye. Love our listeners. Truth Time, thank you for joining us from Baltimore this morning. Get all your friends to tune in. And Jack, we appreciate you, Mr. Jack, for being with us. Mr. Milaoff. Some kind of French name, I think. All right, guys, you guys have a great day. Peace, love, respect. I am so out of here. See you on the flip side. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Your laugh is so funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll try to make everybody, and I appreciate you being with us as well. You guys have a wonderful, fantastic day, and we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow.